against the Wild. The same thing happened to the Blues offensively. The Blues did take a 1-0 lead, but lose 3-1. David Backes puts the Blues ahead.
You're listening to SG4L Radio, part of the SG4L Media Network.
Happy late Easter, everybody, and if you're, say, a St. Louis sports fan, what an Easter it was. This is the sports blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. Robert Bowlesby here with you. On today's show, we're going to get to some blues. We're going to try something different in the third segment, something new. And then if we get to a fourth segment, just a potpourri of things. But we're going to start off with the St. Louis Cardinals, as opening night was last night. And it involved your St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. And as they would say, a rivalry renewed. But this is the type of rivalry you like to see with class and respect for both teams, even though they might have a bit of rivalry just being St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, right down the road from each other, essentially, cross-state rivals. But they showed how both teams has class at the beginning of the game, as former Cardinal outfielder Oscar Taveras was remembered after he died in an off-season accident. And Cubs great, who also died during the off-season, Ernie Banks, was also honored. Both teams on the field for both of them. So it's kind of nice seeing that in sports. You can tweet me at rbowlesbyjr. That's RBOWLSBYJR. You can also tweet the network at the Greater STL Sports Network. But let's get to the game. And like we were talking about with Wainwright, Lynn, and Lackey in the spring training, is when they have them bad starts after not pitching so much, sometimes you just go out there and kind of see where your control is and where your pitch is on so you can work at the next start. And why I'm talking about this is it's kind of what happened to John Lester during his spring training. He actually only pitched in 3 games and only pitched 9 1/3 innings through the whole spring training. So maybe this is one of his starts where he didn't have all his stuff, and maybe they were saving him for later in the season when Chris Bryant comes up and maybe Baez comes up and they both spark the team and they get on a good run towards the end of the season. But it started off right for the Cardinals with 1 out. Jason Hayward in his first at bat as a Cardinal hits a double. Matt Halliday is the next batter, and he gets an RBI signal, giving the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. And then in the second inning, with first and third and 2 outs, Matt Carpenter gets an RBI signal to give the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. And Jason Hayward again came up in the third in his first at bat as a Cardinal. He left the inning with a double. They led to nothing with the Cardinals. Lead stayed 2-0. And then in the fifth, a leadoff single from Matty Carpenter. And then Jason Hayward in his third at bat, and the Cardinal starts off 3 for 3 in his career as a Cardinal. Matt Halliday with the third straight hit, an RBI signal to give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. After that, Halliday and Hayward do a double steal to give runners at second and third with nobody out. And Cardinals couldn't capitalize on the damage as John Lester gets Johnny Peralta to pop out to second. After 4 1/3 inning, John Lester is taken out of the game, allowing the 3 earned runs, throwing 101 pitches in that 4 1/3. So it showed you that all his control wasn't there, like I was talking about. It shows that maybe this was just a work at his start. Well, lefty specialist Phil Coke came in. You might know him from Detroit or maybe formerly of the Yankees. He comes in and strikes out Adams to make it 2 outs. They intentionally walk Yadier Molina to load the bases in that fifth. And Coke then strikes out left-handed batter Colton Wong. So as we move on to the 6th inning, the Cardinals got to see former closer, former teammate Jason Mott. He came into the game and pitched for the Cubbies as he was signed in the offseason. He had a scoreless inning. Wainwright then shuts down the Cubs in the 6th, and that was his last inning. And it was a good start in the season for Wainwright to start it off, and shown like I was talking about in maybe his last start. where he was kind of building off something, and maybe a lot of hits weren't really nothing because he's one of the guys to work around it. As there, I think it was 4 straight innings, maybe 5 straight innings, where the Cubs started off with their leadoff men on base, and a few of them were doubles. Well, Wainwright with 6 innings, 5 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks. He did have 6 strikeouts and only threw 101 pitches. But when it came to the 7th, something looked a little weird as supposed 5th starter, Carlos Martinez, came in and relieved Adam Wainwright. And he kind of looked a little shaky, maybe a little nervous. Maybe it's pitching opening day, big scenery for him, something new for him, something he's never seen before. So he looked like he was a little hyped up, throwing a little harder than he should. But when he started to settle down, it ended up being a good inning for Carlos, and maybe that's something he can build on to maybe when he moves back to a starter. Because the Cardinals still said Jaime Garcia, and it was reported, as I seen it on Cardinals.com, he'll be doing something within the next 2 weeks, but it doesn't say he's going to be pitching in games in 2 weeks. Well, Carlos went an inning. He unwalked a batter. He did strike out a batter. It was a scoreless inning. So it's nice to see that from him, maybe so that it didn't maybe get into his head coming in to relieve somebody when he's been preparing as a starter the whole offseason. Well, that gets us to the 7th inning. We move on to the 8th inning. And after the Cardinals are down in the 8th inning, Jordan Walden, the newly acquired Cardinal, comes in. And I kind of like his release. He said, when asked if anybody could try to change it, he said every pitching coach that's ever talked to him. So it's kind of funny seeing the way he throws a pitch, and he gets something on the ball. And he could be effective for us as if Rosie struggles going into the stretch. Well, he went an inning during the 8th. He walked one. He struck out Castro to end the 8th. And that was a nice outing for him, as it's nice to see him come in and be that guy, that setup guy that maybe we haven't had over the past couple years, with not at his best last year, and maybe Carlos reeling from preparing as a starter all offseason and getting to that point. Cardinals are shut down in the 9th, and Trevor Rosenthal comes in, and this looked like he was a little hyped up at first, but Rosie settled down, came in, got his inning in, struck out the side, got the save. So it's nice to see that for him, that he didn't come in and have that little struggle maybe that some people are going to have going in to the first week or two of the season. And it was actually nice to see the whole bullpen, Carlos Martinez, Jordan Walden, and Trevor Rosenthal, do that. Because them kind of pitchers that only pitch that one inning, that arm can get a little soft on you, to where you're not always feeling right when you're preparing in the bullpen, unlike the guys that get the 5 days off, even though they throw the 100 pitches every 5th day. But some of these guys come in and they throw a lot of pitches, so that arm can get a little wore out. But it's nice to see on the first game of the season, and maybe the Cubs weren't all the way there, but it was nice to see the bullpen come out 3 innings of shutout baseball. It was also nice to see that even with the hits and everything that went on, the Cubs were 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. So that shows that it shut it down when we really needed to. And in the play where the Cubs had a chance to maybe get something going, Johnny Peralta made a nice play up the middle in the 7th to end that inning. So it's nice to see that the defense is working well, and that he looked like he was moving pretty good. He got the ball over there really quickly on a pretty good runner. So it's nice to see that from him. So it was nice to see that Jason Hayward in his first game, probably the star of the game for the Cardinals, 3 for 5. He had run one scored. He had a stolen base and 2 doubles. Matt Halliday gets you that 2 RBIs, goes 2 for 4 with the walk. Cardinals were 3 for 14 and runners under the scoring position. And it's the first game. Hey, that's kind of stats that you don't worry about. It was the stat with the 0 for 13. That's nice to see the pitchers doing that. And hopefully the Cardinals can get better with the runners in scoring position, because you're not going to get this every game from your starting staff. And I said that last podcast when I said that when the starting 5 came in and had that .114 in their last 6 starts or so. So you want to start getting going with runners in scoring position and stuff. But, this is the kind, you're not going to get it every game. And, it's nice to see that they had 14 runners in scoring position. That means, they're getting on base and getting in scoring position. The Cardinals also had 4 steals. So they were getting running. You seen Peter Borges come in the 8th inning to be the spell to Halladay, be the guy to go out there, and he stole a base. He ended up getting the 3rd. That was in the 8th inning after the Halladay walk. So he didn't score, but it was, he went out there and showed that what he's here for. He's here for the lightning speed. And, it wasn't it was all that bad of a throw. It didn't go that far out, and he got the 3rd on it very easily. So it was nice to see that from him. It's also nice to see Wong get out there and stole a base. Carpenter attempted one. He missed. Hayward stole a base. Halladay stole a base, which was on a double steal. So obviously if they were attempting to throw anywhere, they were going to throw it on the 3rd. So it was nice to see that from the Cardinals on a pitcher that they know that doesn't throw to first base. So you try to get runners in scoring position every way you can. Definitely in a game where Ross isn't the best catcher and Lester never throws to first. So it was nice to see that to start off the season for the Cardinals. Cardinals do return to play tomorrow as they were off today. Lance Lynn will start against St. Louis and Jake Arrieta. And you're hoping Lance Lynn builds off them 2 starts, with the 12 innings, only 2 earned runs allowed in his last 2 starts. So the Cardinals, you're hoping this is what you get through the season is good pitching and then the hitting from Hayward, the RBIs from Halladay. And Lynn's your horse. He's going to be your second guy this season because of the injury to Walker. They're probably not going to push Walker too hard this season. So it'll be nice to see what we get tomorrow from him as the season starts to get it going. And then all the left-handers, instead of facing a left-hander, all left-handers are not able to get to face a right-hander. Mark Reynolds did get in the game. He got an out. I think he pitched hit for Carlos Martinez. So you didn't really get to see much of the bench except for Borges getting the stolen base. So early in the season, you probably won't see much of that. They're going to try to let the starters go as far as they want deep in the games if they can do it. So it wasn't a really big spot at the time where he came in. There was a runner in scoring position, but, things happen. But you hope that the Cardinals can build off these type of bullpen things too, with Carlos maybe going to that 5th start, the starter's role, and start the season off right here as we go through Chicago and get to Busch Stadium. All right, we're going to take a break here. We're going to get some Blues hockey next. This is the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. Hello and welcome back to the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. Robert Bowlesby here with you. You can tweet me at rbowlesbyjr. You can tweet the network at Greater STLSN. That was a little bit of a long segment on the Cardinals. We're not going to do that on a single game every week. It was just kind of fun to get the season going. Kind of missed baseball. It was a little hard to fill that little whole segment with just one game, but it's kind of good to get the season starts to get going and get down the stretch here in the hockey season. as it's just sports time fun for St. Louis. So we'll get to the Blues now. And the Blues played on Friday night against the Dallas Stars. And as we have been talking about the last 2 weeks, since the Minnesota Wild game, how Elliott, as he's played more games, it seems like, he has kind of fallen off a little bit. And then Jake Allen, he's getting his time in there now as Elliott's not playing that great. He's starting to prove what kind of goalie he is. And what a game. It was wild on Friday night as Brian Elliott was in goal. The Blues did win, and the score was not a hockey score. This was actually a good baseball score. A defensive-worthy football score. 7-5. And this was a game where Ken Hitchcock joked both teams played well on defense. And as we know for the Blues, the turnovers and stuff, the defense hasn't been playing well. But you don't like Dallas, also you could tell, didn't play very well. As the Cardinals did get on the board first, as Patrick Berglund, one of the guys we were talking about that needs to get going, as the Blues go down the stretch when the guys that are out, and Steen and Tarasenko, Berglund put his 11th in for the season. McCulloch with the assist, his 8th on the year total with the Penguins and the Blues, and Backus with his 31st. Now in the second, after the Dallas came and scored 2, Berglund did score his second goal of the game for his 12th of the season. Shattenkirk with his 33rd assist, and another guy that needs to get going that we don't mention as much. He's a third liner, and the third line hasn't been producing all that much this season, so we kind of skip over him as we're always looking at Berglund. But Dmitry Yaskin, it was only his 5th assist of the season. So it's another guy that has to get going. And then Schwartz scores again for the Blues to put them up. His 26th of the year. TJ Oshie with his 35th assist. Bouwmeester with his 10th. And for Bouwmeester, you're not really expecting him for the points, but the way he's been playing defense this season and getting the retarded penalties that he's been getting throughout the year, you have to get something from him. And at least he gets an assist in this game. Then the Dallas goes on a 4-goal run against the Blues to take the lead of 5-3. So this is just a back and forth game to where you could tell that the defenses are kind of maybe playing all-star game defense to where they're just letting the shooters go in, wind it up, and get it past the goalie. Well, after that 4 goals with Dallas led 5-3, Jaden Schwartz scores again to put his 27th of the year in. Assist from Petro, his 37th. Shattenkirk, his 34th. Great for a guy who's missed a lot of time this season to Shattenkirk to be up there near Petro, who's more of an offensive guy, and Shaddy's more of a back and forth guy, a two-way guy, to have 34 with the time he's missed. Well, after the 4 straight goals for the Dallas Stars, the Blues go on a 4 straight goal run. As McCulloch puts his 2nd as a Blue in, his 4th on the season, to tie it up. Oshie with his 36th assist. Bouwmeester again with another assist, giving him 11. So it was nice to see that right there from the Blues. And then you get Pietrangelo, who gets a goal. And it's nice to see that from him, as we were just saying his offensive prowess to get in another goal. His goal was unassisted, so it sounds like a turnover for the defense for me for the Dallas Stars. And then Schwartz gets the hat trick, and he scores his 3rd on the empty netter, and that gives the Blues a 7-5 win. Now, there was 32 shots on goal for Dallas, so a lot more shots than Elliott has faced in the later games this season. but he only saved 27 of them. So, again, the 5 goals allowed is something you can't have. As I said, he had 9 over his last 53 shots against him. So, that's showing that maybe that he's taking that number 1 a little too hard now as we're going down the stretch. Because if you know going down the stretch in the later years, Blues were always fighting to go maybe make him the number 1 guy over to Halak as he was playing the big minutes down the stretch and being one of the best players on the ice for the Blues when they needed him to be. And it wasn't always injuries in the playoffs. When he was in the game, it wasn't always the goalie in the playoffs. Definitely when he was in the game, but it was, the injuries that the Blues got and the goals they couldn't score. So for Elliott, that's 15 goals against in his last 85 shots. That's a really high number for your number 1 goalie. So there's something that you're going to see as we go into the next game the Blues played, and it was a big game where this number 1 spot for the goaltender thing has shifted. And we'll get right into that game that happened on Sunday night on Easter. And it was just like the St. Louis Cardinals. The Blues were playing their cross-state rival at the United Center in Chicago, and the Blackhawks. The Blues, coming into this game, had lost 6 straight games to the Blackhawks, being outscored 23-7. So if you lost this game, this goes into the playoffs as the Blackhawks just own you, and there's no way to get past it. Now, another thing that hitched it again, as I mentioned before, he switched up the lines again. It's something the same people can't get chemistry with. There are certain lines if he keeps doing that. Well, maybe this is this team that just likes playing together and they don't need the chemistry. Maybe they already have the chemistry that is needed. As the lines going in this game is Backus was actually moved off the first line, replaced by Stasny, centering Schwartz and Oshie on the wings. Backus centering the second line, Jokinen and Berglund were on the wings. Yaskin and Berglund were on the wings. Jokinen was on the third line, Laterra centering, Ratty on the other ring. Then you had the usual fourth line with Gott and Reeves. Well, Jake Allen was in goal, and it started off for the Blues with David Backus scoring his 26th goal. It was on the power play, assisted by Schwartz for his 34th, a guy that has played well all season. And it's nice to see that from him, getting another assist. And that's a guy that already had his career high in points coming into this stretch before that. And he's still building up the stats with the hat trick before this. And now getting an assist on the first goal of the game of Backus, giving him 61 points on the year. Career high before that, I think, was 55. Shattenkirk, another assist in a game after he was +3 against Dallas. First goal of the game, power play. Assist for Shatty. And that tied Backus for 10th all-time power play goals in Blues history. It was his 10th power play goal on the season. Career high, so it's 10-10. That kind of works out. That now puts him in the top 10 in games, goals, assists, points, plus, minus. Like I said, he was tied for power play goals and also in the top 10 in shots. So that is an all-time great Blue right there. It also tied him for 10th on the all-time list. That was his 50th career power play goal. So he's moving up on these lists. It's coming around, and he's still kind of young. I mean, some of these hockey players play to 40. So he's still got a long way to go if these injuries don't affect him going on and the way he plays doesn't affect him. Well, Chicago did tie the game against the Blues. But then Ole Jokinen scores his first of a Blue. Ty Ratty with the assist. Petrolando with his 38th assist. So it was nice to see that for the Blues, to see another guy that doesn't get a lot of playing time come in gets the goal, make it 2-1, and that is his first goal as a Blue, and it was also the game-winning goal. This win put the Blues first in their division with 3 games left. They lead Chicago by 3, 1 point up on Nashville. And it was also their first regulation win at the United Center since February 3rd of 2010. So it's been a long time for the Blues. And like I said, when you had to come down the stretch, you needed to prove to these teams that you can do the things that you haven't done against them before and win games and win at the United Center for the first time in 5 years. Now that's just crazy to even think about. Allen in the game became the first rookie to win at the United Center for the Blues since December 28th of 2005. It's almost 10 years since the last time a rookie goalie won at the United Center for the Blues. So even another crazy thing. And Jake Allen is the one doing it. Since the new year, he's did 10-1-2 on the season since the new year. He's 21-6-4 on the year, 10-3-3 on the road, and in that game he had a season high 38 saves. So it's nice to see him being effective going down the stretch, and now I think he's taking over this number 1 spot. How could you get away from him? And it kind of goes now as we come into today. If you heard Kinetz like last night saying he wasn't even going to go there, Jake Allen's going to get the start in the next game against the Jets. And what Hitch had to say on that was that I'm going with the hot hand. Well, your hot hand should be your number 1 goalie right now, and that's Jake Allen. But as we go back to the assist, it was nice to see that Tyrati got in on the action. It was his second career assist in his 9 career games in the NHL. And he has been a top player in the NHL the last 2 years. This year, playing 59 games, 21 goals, 21 assists, 42 points, a +7. Last year in 72 games, 31 goals, 17 assists, 48 points, a +5. So a guy that's been playing very well for you in the AHL now gets his chance, and it's nice to see him get a assist on that third line, and on the game-winning goal. So maybe that gives him a little extra thing going down the stretch, and maybe you have him as one of your healthy scratches going into the playoffs, unless the Chicago Wolves are going to the playoffs. I mean, does it really matter if he's in the playoffs in the AHL, if he can maybe get a shot, just in case Steen Terracing will get hurt again, or maybe someone else gets hurt? You got another guy to back them up, other than just maybe the older guy in Jokic, and you got a younger guy in Tyrati. But what I kind of wanted to do to finish this off is said I was going to talk about it in the last podcast, and I ran a little late, and that was talk about the guy we kind of gave up on when we signed Brian Elliott to that 1-year contract in 2011, and that was St. Louis native, graduate of Chaminade, Ben Bishop. Now, we gave up maybe, and what I'm saying is maybe you could have groomed the hometown kid. Maybe you could have kept him around, and you could have found maybe a second guy to go under Halak, because you knew Halak was going to be your guy. Now, and this was in Peoria, and this is for the Blues when he was here. In his first season at Peoria, he was 15-16-1, 281 goals against, 8.91. The next year, 09-010, 23-18 and 4, 277-901. 2011, this is his last year before he was traded, 17-14-2, 256 with a 914. So you see in them 3 years, he was getting better as it went on. Now that last year, the 17-14-2 doesn't sound all that great, even though his goals against were lower and his save percentage was higher. Now Elliott did play pretty well, and it was also in the NHL when he was in Ottawa. The first 2 years, 08-09 and 09-010, he was 16-8-3 in 08-09, 2.77 goals against, 902. Had one shutout. 09-010, he was 29-18-4, 257 with a 909 with 5 shutouts. Now, getting to the season that Ben Bishop had in the AHL with the 17-14-2, and that he was in the NHL that season and played a total of 59 games, Brian Elliott did. And then 2010-2011 was 15-27-9 with a 339 goals against and an 893 save percentage. Now, I don't see how you can, when your guy that you brought up that's in your system, that you drafted, that's from St. Louis, has much lower that, even though it was in the AHL, almost 1 goal less a game, and how you could give up on him like that to a guy that didn't play that well and was traded from the team that drafted him to Colorado. And we did get Brian Elliott for a really good deal, $600,000 on a 1-year deal. So, I mean, that's cheap for a guy for a backup goalie. Now, he did come in that year in 2011, 2012 and just blow away everybody. He holds all the Blues goalie records are from him from that year of 2011, 2012. But we did only sign him to a 1-year deal. So we'll go back to Bishop's 2011, 2012. For Peoria, he was 24-14-0. He led the AHL with a 226 goals against and a 925 save percentage. So even though Brian Elliott was playing lights out in the NHL that year for the Blues, Ben Bishop played lights out that year for the Peoria Rivermen. Now, we did trade him to the team that Brian Elliott lost his job to where he was traded to Chicago and the Ottawa Senators. So he never really proved it in the NHL, as he only played a career 13 games for the Blues. He went 4-5-1, 294 goals against him 1 year, 276 in the other year he played for the Blues with an 893 average save percentage. So that was the same that Ben Bishop had in his 2011 year, but in a lot more games than in the 4 years that Ben Bishop was in the system for the Blues, playing the 13 games in the NHL. Now, since he's come on and been a starter, these are the kind of stats that you kind of want to see from your goalie. Ben Bishop is 37, 14-5 in 2013-14 season. He had 223 goals against with a 924 save percentage. Now this year, he's become just an elite goalie as the season hasn't ended yet, and he's tied his career high with 37 wins, 13 losses, 5 overtime losses. His goals against is a little higher, 236, and he has a 914 save percentage. So it's kind of different to me to see the St. Louis guy who could have been here and could have been your top goalie, because in the long run we picked Elliott over him, and now we picked Elliott over Herlock, even though we gave up Herlock for Ryan Miller. Maybe the St. Louis could have been that guy and been here with the other St. Louis and Paul Stastny, and now you got a real promotion to get to the St. Louis crowd. Now, I know that really wasn't the Tom Stillman group, and it really wasn't Dominic Armstrong. It was the guy that went to Columbus, and I can't really remember his name right now. But that was a guy that I think you would have could have kept around and built something off of. And maybe the guys that seen him as Chaminade play, the coaches and stuff, maybe you get more people going to the Blues games because you have a St. Louis feel. Now, I know it's difficult for a lot of people to play at home, and St. Louis players that play here have said this. It's pretty difficult to play for your hometown team because you always want to be great for your hometown team. But I just wanted to kind of compare that and give you a kind of a different thing to look at other than looking at Jake Allen and Brian Elliott, and go back maybe a little farther to the St. Louis Ben Bishop and Brian Elliott. Well, that's going to do it on the Blues for this segment. We're going to do a little something different here next, right here on the Sports Blog on the Greater STL. Sports Network. And welcome back to the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. I'm Robert Bowlesby. You can tweet me at rbowlesbyjr. You can tweet the network at Greater STLSN. What I'm going to call this segment is a little hometown rundown. What this segment is kind of going to be about is I'm going to kind of go and look at the independent teams, maybe some of the other teams that we can go support. Well, maybe we can't afford to go support the Cardinals and the Rams and the Blues every game. We can support some other teams to help build the sports for around this area and maybe help some people out that really need help out, like independent businesses, the mom and pop stores, mostly the sponsors at these games that can't really afford to get themselves out there, but get themselves out there. And also for the players that are trying to, maybe make it to the NFL or the CFL or something bigger, or, the MLS or something like that, the Major League Baseball. So, let's just run down some hometown things that are going on around St. Louis. And we'll start it off with the indoor football team, the St. Louis Attack. And the Attack played their first home game this season, and they play at the St. Charles Family Arena. And they played the River Grand Valley Soul on Saturday night, and they lost that game. And I had to score, but I think it was 63-40. It was 60. I had said it right here. Sorry, the Attack lost 60-43, and the crowd at the Family Arena was 4,034 fans. So it's kind of a nice showing. I think you can only fit 10,000 in there. So it's kind of a nice showing for an independent football team, and it's kind of nice to see them. And for a team like the Attack, they brought a lot of St. Louis people in to play for the teams. When I was looking at the team, there was a lot of Hazelwood grads. Do you remember Zach Abron from Missouri? So it's kind of cool that they're giving the people from a chance from St. Louis to come out and play for them and get seen on the map. Now, the Attack did win their first game to put their record 1-1 after their loss at home in the earlier part of the season. There's only 6 games left in the season, so make sure you get out there and support one of the hometown teams. Now, the Attack had a little trouble passing in the game as they completed 39% of their passes, while Rio Grande Valley completed 78%. So quarterback Mac McMillan had a little trouble, but you'll probably get over it as he was X-League Offensive Player of the Year. And he was also top quarterback in the X-League last year. And the Attack should be better as time goes on, as they were in the X-League Championship last year. Now, they do play again April 11th against the Bloomington Edge, and it is at the Family Arena. So, it'd be nice if you go check them out. Another team that also plays in the Family Arena and are affiliated with the St. Louis Attack are the St. Louis Ambush. And their news for this season, and it's pretty good news, is Darren Duran returns as their head coach, and it'll be his 14th season coaching St. Louis professional soccer. And Mr. Duran is a legend in St. Louis soccer, kind of like the McBrides. And he's been in St. Louis soccer since 1982, playing for the Steamers, playing for the Storm, played for the Ambush. He came back to the reincarnated Steamers, played to 05 until he retired, and he is also became a player coach with Ambush when he first started with Ambush in 1992. So it's nice to see that, too, that St. Louis also bringing in soccer legends. Another thing for St. Louis folks to look at, like, oh, man, we could go see Daryl Duran. And they also give a lot of the St. Louis kids a chance to come out there and show their things and maybe get into the bigger leagues. The Ambush will play in the newly formed Major Arena Soccer League, and their play starts in the fall this year. Now, we're going to stay on the soccer tip, as it's kind of good for St. Louis as we're trying to build this stadium up as a football stadium, a soccer stadium that's going to be on the riverfront in St. Louis for the Rams. So some soccer games were played in Missouri in the past week. On March 31st at Arrowhead Stadium, Mexico and Paraguay played to a 1-0 Mexican win, and it was attendance of 34,114, and it was the first soccer match at Arrowhead since 2010. And it was also a way for KC to officially enter itself into a 2016 Copa America Centero. It's a 16 tournament where U.S. and Mexico get automatic bids. So they already have kind of a soccer repertoire with Sporting KC. So they're trying to get games to come also to Arrowhead, something that the Cardinals have done with Busch Stadium. And this game at Busch Stadium was actually with the women, as the national team for the United States played the New Zealand woman. U.S. won 4-0, and it was a record-setting crowd at Busch of 35,817. St. Louis native Larry Chapini scored in the game in the 46th minute after being subbed in. She was also named Woman of the Match. So it was nice to see that a St. Louis native got to score, named Woman of the Match in her hometown. And from what I've seen on Twitter, she was posting pictures of her going to Ted Drew's. So a nice treat for her in her hometown. She gets to score in a soccer game, gets at Busch Stadium of all places. Not many girls get to play there, so it was probably a big stage for her in her hometown. Now, the crowd was the largest crowd to watch a standalone women's game for the national team in history. It was the third largest crowd for a national women's game and friendlies matches. So that's kind of cool to see St. Louis come out and support soccer when we have kind of preached for years that we would be a good soccer town, almost as good as we'd be a good football town. And they showed it with the record-setting crowd. And this is something to build on to get that MLS team. They can look at this and say, wow, they're going to show up like this to a women's soccer game. Imagine they would do to a major soccer event if they have their own team. And then you could go with, hey, we would have a rival in Sporting KC. And now you could have home-and-home matches at Busch and Arrowhead. Or even Kauffman Stadium. Or something like that. Just to play in different stadiums. And, I don't think the Rams would be too unhappy if the Cardinals played one game a year. Or if a St. Louis soccer team played a game at Busch Stadium once a year. And maybe it's just a friendly. Maybe it's a friendly before the season, a preseason game for soccer. And they just play against each other just for fun of it, like a cup, like the Governor's Cup, like KC and St. Louis does in the preseason sometimes. So it's kind of cool to see the Cardinals, or the soccer, being supported when we need the stadium to keep our football team. And that could be a big swing for the NFL to say, hey, if they can do this, that's going to bring us MLS team there. that means they can support the football team. And then most can look at this and say, hey, we're looking to expand, and this would be a good city to expand to. So it's kind of nice to see something different and try to get, maybe another major sport in the St. Louis area that other people like and can support. All right, we'll move on to the River City Rascals of baseball. And they'll start their season on May 8th at TR Hughes against the Frontier Grays. And it should be a good season for the Rascals as they're returning their whole infield. And it's after a season in which they were the runner-up in the Frontier League Championship. So it'll be nice to see, something different. See players that, you never know. Because you could see in the major leagues one day from St. Louis and all around United States playing right here in your backyard in O'Fallon. So as it goes on and we get a little more, I would have got more stats from the attack game, but they weren't up. So if it goes on, this segment will get better. We'll have a little more stats. We'll see who's playing well and who has a chance to maybe come up and go to things on better. But before we get done, I wanted to talk a little bit about this national championship game, and that's Duke versus Wisconsin. And first time in a long time Duke has been an underdog is in their ESPN's rating, whatever they rate it. Wisconsin has a 64% chance of winning. And I never really watched a Wisconsin game before.
Being a league owner is no better because the league owners that are making money is kind of like those percentages in the country type shit. When you really, really pull it up, you're like, oh, really? Only like 5% of people really question like that? It's the same thing for league owners. 90+% of league owners out there, because I know what it's like to be in those shoes. You're not making money, but there's a handful of league owners that really make money. Really, really make money. I could count on one hand that really, really make money. Some of the biggest league owners of all time are not only broke, but don't make money from battle rap. They just do events, and those events come and go, and they didn't walk away with nothing. They either went in the red or got even, or they didn't make no, even if they did make some money, they made no real money. What you got to deal with is unfucking precedented. You're at the center. You have to know the business. You have to say when it's time to go spend $250,000 and when it's time to only spend $5,000 and be successful from it or gain moments of success from it. Me, I'm still going to tell you, be a blogger. Be a blogger.
I think a lot of people misconstrue what battle rap is. It's a long, enduring job with very minimal rewards. The rewards are basically like props and thank yous and shit like that. Yeah. On this side, you know what I mean? Things can go well sometimes, but for the most part, you gotta book like 16 rappers for events, and you know what I mean? Like they're not...
A lot of logistics.
Yeah, it's a lot of logistics, right? So it's a lot of work, and it's a very thankless job, bro. Like the people like us that stick through it, man, we go through tough times, man. It's really, you gotta have like tough fucking skin to make it through the battle rap world. There's been thousands of leagues, and literally like 3 still exist.
It's not recoupable. When we had like, our strategic partners available, you know what I'm saying? We had extra cushion to like, try to make it interesting. YouTube partnerships ain't paying. It's like, where the money's coming? Where's the money coming from? I don't know what they do. If I have a budget, I'm gonna let people know what I have for them. Gotcha. If they want to take it, they can take it. If they don't, then, you know what I mean? I'm going on to the next person. Like, and ain't no ROI on the investment, then, you know what I mean? It's not gonna make sense. I am the coach. That's how I am the coach. Who else is shaking it up? I'll speak in 2024. I'ma speak. Anybody say my name, I'm addressing everything. I'm not sparing nothing, and I'm coming with receipts.
Thank y'all for tapping into the Arch Madness podcast. Long time coming. Been trying to get this done before 314 day. I mean, I'm a day ahead. So, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. That's the first thing. That's why it took me so long. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. Not with the microphone, not with the programs, not with anything. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. But I do know how to do this. Hey, yo, the socials are at the bottom. Arch Madness Podcast on Facebook, at SG4L_Arch314, and at the Arch Madness Pod on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you call it. The Arch Madness Podcast on YouTube. You know, you can hit us up on Instagram at Arch Madness Pod. I don't really use none of this shit or know how. And as soon as I figure this out, how to upload this shit, you can hit me up on Twitch at Arch Madness Pod, baby. Now let's just get into this intro real quick. You know, I'm pretty speechless on the concerted effort to not pay battle rappers more. That's basically what I see this as. I see this as a joint effort between the leagues. They emailed each other or something, got in a fucking group chat or something, and they said, "Hey man, we can't pay these motherfuckers no more." That's basically what I think it is. I don't think battle rap's dying at all. You know, I think it's just fine. I think it could be dying for some people, and those people might want to ask themselves what's their part in it. You know, like if their battles were easily accessible, or if the apps don't crash, or if the pay-per-view streams work, or if the cards are even worth what you're asking us to pay. I mean, that's the first thing, is you guys are trying to put out product that isn't as good anymore. And then at the same time charge us more. Like, I understand, you know what I mean? I understand how you think business might go, or how you think you might try to turn this business into that. But, you know, this is a whole different game. This ain't like other things for a reason. You know, it's just like, why are they pushing the narrative? Why aren't they going after more? Why aren't they trying to keep it alive? You know, that's the first thing, is if you guys are the big three battle rap league owners and you guys are saying battle rap is dying, the fuck does that say? I mean, what the fuck does that say about y'all for the most part? Because I don't think the rest of us feel that way. I don't think any of us feel like battle rap is dying. You know, I don't feel like, you know, it's just like, you want the whole culture to feel threatened. It's like a scare tactic. You know, I don't know what you want from the casual fans. They were casual to begin with. You guys want them to, it's like you guys want them to turn this into something it's not. They can't turn it into something it's not. It's like a lot of these people, this is just like a hobby. It's just something they do or something they watch. You know, it's like it's a niche market. You know what I mean? It can be big, but not through the avenues that y'all are pushing it at. That's why I hate the three big league owners. I hate them. You know what I mean? I can't stand them. We need better representation. We need real representation. We need manly representation. You know, it's like, you got ARP, he be in his feelings, dog. He be romanticizing the battles. You know, he be in there with the candlelit battles, and y'all be letting him do it. Y'all let him put you in the mood lights if you want to. You know, I felt weird getting the intro clip, to be honest. I just feel like, you know what I mean, that's the first battle rap league that has a tier mark instead of a watermark. You know what I mean? It's just weird, like industry plant vibes, you know, like, feel like he used to run down the hallway like an anime character. He's really like emotional, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Them steroids got you all emotional and mushy. You know what I mean? It's just like, we need better representation. Then we got Organic, who he's the absolute worst. I can't stand him. Not only does he sound fucking terrible listening to, but then the shit he said. I mean, it's suburban entitlement. That's what I call it. Don't expect me to be able to pronounce words. You know what I mean? I'm from St. Louis, first and foremost. But, you know, like, Organic, he's the absolute worst. He's a Karen. He's a victim. He acts like we should thank him. How about you're welcome for our talent that pushed you to the heights? Because it wasn't you, it wasn't your battle rap league, it was the talent on your league, and really it was one person that you built your whole league around. You stole them from another league, and then you built your whole league around. You know, I just see like the coward in some of these people, like I see you know, I don't know how to explain it because I don't have that mentality. I can never think like, oh, I just lost a deal and, you know, battle rappers didn't thank me. You know, that's pretty fucking weird if you ask me. Yeah, I mean, if you're like a hustler or whatever, then go find other avenues of revenue. That's the first thing you should probably do, is think about, you know, what other streams of revenue if you're losing streams of revenue. I mean, that would be my business decision, and I don't run either two of y'all businesses. You know what I mean? I just feel like this is we have the worst representation. You know what I mean? We got old Ja Rule over there, and then we got this motherfucking, you know what I mean? We got this motherfucking Mickey Mouse Club Battle League sounding motherfucker, you know what I mean? It's this South Park Ike, all grown up looking motherfucker, look like he's still biked to this day. You know what I mean? Putting all kinds of corny shit. You know what I mean? I don't get it. This is the people that are pushed to the mainstream. That's what I don't get. I mean, I understand they might have a little bit of money or whatever, but all money ain't good money. All product ain't good product. That's I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm speechless. I don't get it. I don't understand. You hear me? I don't understand. And they say the big money's not coming back. The fuck do you mean? Are you tucking your tail? You getting the fuck out of here? Because if you're getting the fuck out of here, I mean, I'm sure everybody else would love that. Everybody else would love y'all to get the fuck out of here and open up the lane. You know what I mean? Stop all this weird shit in the culture. We can start putting the underground leagues on, because that's where the real talent comes from. You know, the real talent comes from that. The real essence comes from the underground battle leagues, and then y'all take them and ruin them. And that's the fact of the matter. That's what you guys say, the big money's not coming back. It's just like, you guys aren't worth big money. I don't understand. You gotta be worth the big money. Like, we can't just like pay you based off like battles from 10 years ago. It don't work like that. You gotta still put out like product. It's not understandable for you to say the big money's not coming back because you lost one deal. Most people lose one deal. It's their first business deal. They think, well, now it's time to go big. You know, you guys had a little app deal on Cat Bean. I mean, now it's time to go big. I mean, 8 Mile was a big success. Body was a pretty big success. There's been battle rap TV shows. You know, there's other things like other forms of entertainment incorporate battle rap into their TV shows and everything else. There's a market for this. That's why you guys got to think big. Why not think Netflix? Why not think HBO? Why not think Showtime, cable? Try to get your shit on like Fuse or something, so it's in a Spectrum library. I mean, you guys can hire me. I can teach y'all a little something. You know, we might be able to make some money after that 4.2. You can make that back. You hit up Netflix, you hear me? Hulu. Yo, I'm just saying, like, the big money's gone, but where did all the money go? Where did all the money before this go? Where's all the money up until that day you said the big money's not coming back? Where's all that money at? You know, that's what I'm saying. Like old YouTube views, your apps, your pay-per-views, everything else like that, everything else that you're selling, your reels, your shorts, any form of revenue that you're getting, tickets. That's a big one for you guys. You guys hold big events. There's a lot of people there. At $100, you know what I mean? It's a lot of money. I don't understand where all of it went. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand where all the money went. You guys got money from Gerald McCoy. You guys got money from Drake. You guys got money from Diddy. Where did it all go? I don't understand it. It sounds like money laundering. Now, I know white collar crime when I see it. You hear me? You know, I know white collar crime when I see it. I know money laundering. I know whenever somebody's trying to shave the profits. I know whenever somebody's trying to skim off the top. You hear me? That's business in the real world. You know, I just think it's kind of ironic that, you know, Norb's got rock bottom and then y'all league hits rock bottom. That's kind of fucking funny to me. You know what I mean? Norb's is over there getting tossed around, but, you know what I mean, his lawyer was tossing y'all around in court, pause. Then you say, who else is shaking shit up? You know what I mean? I guess that's why you lost all your sponsorships, apps, and, you know, your fans, your subscriptions. I guess that's why you're losing everything, because you're the only one that shakes shit up. You know what I mean? I guess that's why. You know, it makes a lot of sense. You know, caffeine sucked in general. The URL app sucked in general. You know what I mean? The pay-per-view stream sucked in general. The cards have been trash in general for a long time. Because everybody's leaving. Because you're the only one that shakes shit up. But most of the big names are shaking shit up other places. That's why these other leagues are even around. Because you're shaking shit up. You hear me? I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's just like, none of this shit was easily accessible either. Like it used to be. Like you guys tried to get us to pay for 2 apps, tickets, and pay-per-views, and, you know, like, then you guys are having people sponsor whole events and battles. You know what I mean? And it's like, how much are you guys coming out the pocket if these guys are sponsoring the whole thing? You know what I mean? I don't get it. why I don't get it that you say shit like, you're the only one shaking shit up. Who else is shaking shit up? The culture, you are the culture. The culture dies with you. You know, you ain't wrapped a motherfucking day in your life, Smack. I mean, I don't want to hear you rap, either. I mean, I ain't never heard some, hey yo, on the corner, son. Better warn him, son. I ain't never heard none of that shit. You hear me? You ain't wrapped a motherfucking day in your life. You are the culture dies with you. But why is the culture so heavily, you know, it's heavily engaged other places, even places that it shouldn't be. But you're the culture, and the culture dies with you. Don't make no fucking sense. You know what I mean? You say shit like, you're the only one with power moves. Looks to me like the power move's been stripped, Smack. No more S on the chest. Caffeine kryptonite, son. Easily. They made me delete the app, son. Off my phone, son. Straight to my Degrassi Hall pass, son. You know what I mean? They said I got a Blu-ray, son. I don't know how to Blu-ray people. No, his lawyer really put belt the asshole. Belto the culo. You hear me? You got that PG, the peso grab, the peso grande. You know. After that, listen, Norbs, I know what the fuck going on. After that 90-day NDA, non-compete clause is up, y'all get ready for Street Taco Truck Battle League. Norbs told me on Twitter. Stay tuned. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand. It's just like, this is the representation we have. And this is the shit that the main battle rappers have been talking about. Like, these motherfuckers they aren't even weird, they're emotional. They move off emotion. They do business off emotion. That's why it's weird. I mean, this is battle rap, man. The fuck? I mean, that's what people say. What the fuck going on? I mean, this is just weird. Like I said, weird ain't the word to really explain it. It's, you know, we'll fuck around and get canceled if we say the real word. I'm just saying. And then these three motherfuckers, right? They blame the whole culture. All three of them said the culture. The whole culture. The culture. The battlers, the fans, the bloggers. Everybody. Everybody involved with battle rap. It's everybody else's fault, right? That's what I don't get. It's everybody else's fault that it sustained the business model this long. It's everybody else's fault that's probably taken battles on discount. You know, people have done you favors because it is Smack, because it is King of the Dot, because it is RBE. It's not, you know, they're going to get more exposure. Like, yeah, they can get some money out of you, but they still understand the exposure at the same time. They might know they can't charge another league that. Another small league that. That's why they're just going to get like a one-rounder. You know, something like that. And that's why a lot of these cats don't even prepare, because they're just going out there to steal a check. So, I mean, in that case, it is kind of the battle rapper's fault. You know, some of them. The ones that were chasing checks instead of worrying about the competition and where, you know, I guess everybody ain't worried about winning nowadays, and everybody ain't worried about being number one. and all that spot. Because I mean, I understand that our three leaders aren't worried about being number one. Our three leaders aren't worried about being good representation or role models. So I understand that the battle rappers probably don't see much. I would understand if they don't see much problem with what they're doing, which I don't either. to be completely honest. Okay. Listen, this might sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it. This is the Smack Organic. This is the ARP. You know, if it's our fault, throw an event without us. Do all the work. I want to see people that have never battled before. I want to see fans that have never been there before. I want to see you guys get some graphic designers that you might actually have to pay, or get some new ones. People that maybe don't know about battle rap at all. You know, then I want you guys to go do the promo. You know, I want you guys to do all the work. Throw an event without the culture. Throw an event without the battlers. Throw an event without the fans. Let's see how far you guys get. You know what I mean? If we need you guys so much, and you guys are the culture, and the culture dies without you, and you know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? That's the fuck. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? I tell you. I mean, that's pretty much one of the reasons why I didn't make it too far, because I was telling all these motherfuckers, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, what do you want from us? Are we supposed to run your business? We're supposed to hire your accountants? You know what I mean? We're supposed to do free battles, flyer designs, the promo. I mean, camera work. Are we supposed to buy tickets, apps, pay-per-views? Are we supposed to set up the pay-per-view? Are we supposed to buy the websites and all that shit? Are we supposed to think organic too? Are we supposed to donate? Are we supposed to pray? We're supposed to pass a community plate around. We're supposed to, you guys want a can dry? You guys want my spaghetti rings though? You want my raviolis? They want our raviolis while they eat filet mignon. They want to give us Tay-Rock vampire battles and your judge versus young anarchy. You know what I mean? Dudes versus chicks. Dudes, that's chicks versus chicks. You know what I mean? We got Skinamax homoerotic battles. You know what I mean? We got Grind Time Rejects. We got Corny Matchup versus Anderson Burris. You know, that's what I'm really tired of the most in battle rap, is this fucking tired angle of the corny white fucking you know, what do you call it, like fucking suburban kid, the rich white kid, you know what I mean? Where he's got to tell us how down he is, and how MC Search is in his top 5, and you know, he's got to, these motherfuckers always got to talk about how they got to fight for their right to party, don't they? Fucking weirdos. Like, you know what I mean? I'm tired of this shit. This is the type of shit that we have to deal with. It's like, you know what I mean? It's the type of shit that they push. And shit like this, we're hearing about, like, how these other motherfuckers are, how these weird white motherfuckers are down, and, you know what I mean? How, you know what I mean? They know the 5 elements, and, you know what I mean? They were at Scribble Jam and summer scrap, or whatever the fuck these weirdos be. Like, you know what I mean? It's shit that I don't watch. I know that. I don't understand it, and I don't give a fuck about it, to be completely honest. You know what I mean? That's one reason I don't watch Smack, because of Anderson Burris. You know, I don't like him at all. You know, I think he's fucking corny, dog. Like, you know what I mean? That's what you get though when you got scouts like Lex Luthor, dog. Like, He's a GameStop employee. He's a basement and Cheeto enthusiast. He's what they call an incel. You know what I mean? The exact type of dweeb that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Future Reddit posters. You know what I mean? Dungeons and Dragon type ass dorks. Pokemon trainer ass motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I don't get it. It's weird to me. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers pick guys like these motherfuckers' names is Turtleneck Teddy and Pretty Hippie Paws. Dog, these are grown men. You know what I mean? These are grown fucking men. You guys are picking them, and their names is Pretty Hippie. And Turtleneck Teddy Paws. I don't even say Paws, dog. They dash would be mad as fuck at me. Man, I'm telling you right now. That's what I'm saying. But like you got all your scouts are dorks. You know what I mean? It's like these people are looking for smack talent. Really? You know what I mean? You got that's what I'm saying, like people like Luther. Like he's a loser, dog. You know what I mean? And then you got people like Drake Dennis. Really? Matt Urkel? Blind Keenan? You know what I mean? Fuck him for charging LT, dog. You know what I mean? Them, you know what I mean? Like him or Lex Luthor don't battle on Smack, and they're looking for your talent. Chilla Jones. That's Mr. Can of Corn himself. He picked somebody named Jalopy Bunges. And that sounds like some zesty sloppy Joe. You know what I mean? Like, that's some weird shit, dog. Like, so, this is the shit we gotta deal with. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you got these people, like these bloggers, dog. These bloggers. You know what I mean? First off, the guy that was doing the Smack interview, 15 minutes of fame or whatever, you know what I mean? That is 15 minutes of dick riding. Don't you ever in your motherfucking life do another. Listen here. I'm gonna say it again. Don't you ever in your motherfucking life ever do another knee POV interview. Listen, Smack. What you were doing was wrong. It's illegal. Can't fraternize with your employees. URL don't got an HR. Hip hop is real. HHIR. You know what I mean? You can't do that. It was fucking weird. I felt really weird getting most of these clips. And this is battle rap, y'all. This is what they did to the game, y'all. You know what I mean? First off, that guy was over there talking, oh, yeah, Smack, you are the culture dies with you. Oh, yeah, nobody else is shaking shit up. Oh, yeah. Then you got T-Top, talk heavy. Yeah, no, this is T-Top. But Smack, you couldn't talk to me like that. Can't talk to me like that, Smack. Let me tell you. I know like 3 or 4 guys from the same place as me that agree. You know what I mean? That you don't talk to, you saying all that shit, like basically like, that shit's dead. It moves with you, so basically we gotta grovel at your feet. And this motherfucker says, talk heavy, Smack. So I guess he's taking a pay cut. You know what I mean? But that's what this whole thing turned into was, you know, how much of yourself is for sale. You know, the first couple PG waves were dope. That's a fact. You know what I mean? That's a fact. The first couple PG waves were dope. B Magic, QP. You know, you got classic battles out of those. You know, it's just you know, people that are less talented will accept less. You know what I mean? People that aren't as smart will accept less. People that are smarter go, you know, they kind of know whenever they're being played with. So that, you know, they might they might take a couple paychecks from you, but listen, they're not gonna sign themselves exclusively to you. Whenever whenever we're both under the knowledge that these are shady business practices, but it's at the time it's URL, so a lot of these guys, but now you got RBE paying and all that shit. You know what I mean? These guys don't give a fuck about smack. They're taking them paychecks. They don't give a fuck about them weird ass lights. They taking them paychecks. You hear me? But that's why this shit is at where it's at. So we got them bloggers like 15 Minutes of Fame. You know what I mean? I guess doing that shit to, I don't know, maybe he wants to be a scout for the Crucible or some shit. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Then you got people like, it's like people that, like 10, 12 years ago, I was telling people about people like this. Chris Unbiased, serial predator weirdo. Outed as a serial predator weirdo. People still follow him, watches. He's one of the most watched battle rap bloggers there is. These people are outed. He's not the only one. I can't give you all the names right now because I don't watch battle rap fucking blogs. I don't watch them fucking weirdos. You know what I mean? But you got people like Chris Unbiased. You know what I mean? It's weird. He's pushed to the top. He's elevated. He's still accepted. You know what I mean? Out here looking like a fruity cat. You know what I mean? No pun intended. He look like a fruity cat. He look like Juicy Smoulier Pet. He look like, Unbiased in Wonderland. You know what I mean? I don't understand. It's like he got a sitting on the playground bench, but no kid's mustache. He's a sick bastard. And these are the people that are pushed to the top. These are the people that the casual fans and the weirdo fans push to the top. You know what I mean? So then the other battle rappers, I guess, gotta go to him and do his interviews and all that other shit. But I wouldn't have done an interview with that motherfucker. Fuck him. Type of people we don't need him fuck around. Before he was even outed, he was fucking weird. I don't understand. This is the type of shit. This is why, you guys tried to commercialize the game and it was never commercial to begin with. And this is what y'all got. You got Chris Unbiased. You know what I mean? You got people like that running shit. You got other people that have been outed as serial predators, fucking weirdos, and these are, battle rappers have been outed. Then, you got people like Angry Fan. You know what I mean? I ain't got too much of a problem with Angry Fan, but he don't seem like, I guess he seems like a battle rap blogger. I don't understand. I don't understand him, and I don't know how to gauge him or say what his character is or anything. I don't know. He just seemed kind of weird. You know what I mean? That's just what I get. I mean, he got his name from chat capitals, capital letters, and chat rooms. You know what I mean? That caps, dog. Angry Fan, dog. You got your name from chat capital stuff. You know what I mean? I remember when he used to throw shit in his garage and shit like that. You know what I mean? That shit used to be hella funny, dog. He used to throw shit. I don't know whose fucking garage that was. You know what I mean? I hope that was him. You know what I mean? I hope he know how to fix garage doors. You know what I mean? He was throwing all kinds of shit. Lawnmowers, fucking weed eaters, fucking chairs, all kinds of shit, dog. I remember when he used to do that shit, but they said he was drunk driving and now he been out of shape. Pause. Oh man, he was out in the rain looking like he was gonna fight some Irish. You hear me? He was out there like, have you seen my baseball? Fucking weirdos, dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all remember that scene And Godfather, when his son get shot at the toll booth, and they looking at him, and the Godfather like, look at how they massacred my boy. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about this shit, man. It's really how I feel. Look what they did to my boy, man. They massacred my boy, man. This shit is crazy. You know what I mean? There's some cool battle rap bloggers though, you know what I mean? Shout out Jay Black, of course. You know what I mean? He's the coolest one. You know what I mean? Then you got you know what I mean, Champion is dope. You know what I mean? So we gotta state that. I'm gonna talk about it more later. You know what I mean? You got Angry Fan, he's cool, you know what I mean? One of the coolest ones, you know what I mean, R.I.P. Mr. Circuit City, dog. You know what I mean? I always liked his videos, and I felt like he was just like a cool ass dude. He knew what the fuck he was talking about. You know what I mean? He was a good battle rap blogger. You know what I mean? And so R.I.P. him. You know what I mean? Then you got, you know what I mean, my guy from St. Louis. You know what I mean? My guy. Druckle Tony. You hear me? You know what I mean? Funniest dude, one of the funniest dudes out. You know what I mean? One of the funniest dudes out. He's hilarious. You should check out his content on YouTube. He does, you know, like whole blogs. He does short shit. He does interviews. He be drunk as fuck, interviewing, slurring. It's fucking hilarious. He be out there like, who do you think what? And be like, what the fuck this dude just say? The motherfucker just be like, yeah, yeah, it was a good night. You know what I mean? Motherfucker, you know what I mean? Shout out Druckle Tony, that's my guy. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is just a reality check. That's what it really is. Big money ain't gone. The big money ain't gone. It's just got, you know what I mean? Reality check hitting your pocket. You hear me? That's all it is. It's a reality check. You know, this is your bad business. This is your mockery of who you post your talent from. You know what I mean? This is the you know, how you treated certain people. You know, definitely from a certain city. You know what I mean? It's just like, to be honest, the talent, you post your talent, most of it, from Lions Den. You know what I mean? Grind Time. The Jungle. Miss Gracie. One of my favorites, Block City. You got a lot of people from there. Street Status. You got a lot of people from there. You know, this is your fault. You were arrogant. You know what I mean? You were arrogant. That brings ignorance. You know what I mean? People are starting to see the bullshit. He definitely since all the battle rappers are saying you're on bullshit. You know what I mean? This is, you know what I mean? You can't run a Ponzi scheme on us for years and years, and then not just on the fans or you know, the bloggers or people involved in the culture, the battle rappers, especially the PGs, the RBEs, intakes, the GCs, all of them fucking weird. All of them, you know what I mean? You gotta really fucking tuck your pride to be on one of those fucking things, to be honest, nowadays. And I just feel like I'd feel like a loser if I sold most of myself just to get some views. You see what they do for views? You hear me? You see what they do for views? Sign themselves into a 1080 contract. You hear me? I just feel like this This is your fault. This is Organic's fault. This is RBE's fault, especially. It's always going to be RBE and Organic's fault because they shouldn't even be involved. You know, like I understand, like people like there's like people like Pat Stay and shit like that that put King of the Dot on the map. But once we got what we needed from them, we should have really got rid of them because. You know what I mean? We're really not trying to, you know what I mean, hear, you know what I mean? We ain't trying to hear that squeaky ass voice motherfucker no more, dog. We ain't trying to pay you $75 for a GZ intake, Gully. We ain't trying to pay that $250 for the RBE intake. Fucking ARP, whatever the fuck your name is. You hear me? You fucking emotional fuck. You know what I mean? I don't like none of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Really, what this comes down to is, you know, you trying to fuck the game. The game fuck you. I mean, greed, hate, envy, the cake will do. Fuck the game, don't let the game fuck you. Word to Cornell. You hear me? Word to my guy. It's just like, this is the shit that y'all allowed in. You know what I mean? Y'all let that movie Body be made. That's what I don't understand. There's a lot of battle rappers involved with that. Ain't nobody was there. Like, why is dude the main character? Who the fuck story is this? Where the fuck would this happen? I don't get it. Don't let this shit happen. There was hell. Arsenal was there. You know what I mean? There was a bunch of people there that could, you know, that I would have thought would have been like, you know, Lux, Hollow. I mean, Hollow's been involved with like grind time and shit like that, but come on, bro. Listen to this shit. This my what do they call it? This is my description of, you know, this is my review of the Body movie. You know what I mean? It's a fucking, first off, it's a perfect misrepresentation of battle rappers, the culture, what really the fuck goes on, like the type of people that battle rap. I mean, I guess you could say some of them people battle rap, but there's only like a certain fucking kind of people that pay attention to them kind of people. I mean, it's not the people that we're talking to or we're talking about. You know, that shit's weird. Let that shit stay in the weird shit. You know, we can't fucking stop everything. You know, so fuck, but still at the same time, like, y'all can stop by. You know what I mean? Like this fucking goofball kid. You know, he gets swirlies, though. You can tell. You know, he's like a swirly kid. He does battle rap homework. All of a sudden, he's got bars in his head. You know what I mean? Kind of, we've seen this fucking story kind of before. It was a guy on a bus. You know what I mean? But now this guy does battle rap homework. And he does, you know what I mean? Now he's got bars and they formulate. And then, you know, his smart, unreceptive girlfriend tells him he's a fucking loser. And he battles her. Somebody wrote this shit. And, you know what I mean? That's just the first half of the movie. Then you got the last scene where he battles his fucking friend. Howsome is a video game designer and shit like that. Like, first off, why are these two the main fucking characters? I don't, there's like not a street representation. Sharon's the street representation. I think it was Sharon. Billy Pistols, I don't know if it's Ron or Sharon or Frack or, you know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? But listen, the last battle, this fucking, you know what I mean? This, these fucking weird motherfuckers wrote this shit. Listen, you know what I mean? Adam 22, college student, pronouns him or her, battles his fucking friend, outs him as a video game designer, and then talks about his daughter's cystic fibrosis. You know what I mean? If I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Cystic fibrosis. You know what I mean? Like, he talks about that. He says, like, you can't put air in her lungs. Really? Like, y'all let this shit happen? Ain't nobody say that shit wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? He said something about, you know what I mean? He's talking about, you know, he said a bunch of shit about how she couldn't breathe and how her dad can't save her. You know what I mean? Boop, boop, boop. You know what I mean? Jab, cross, uppercut. West Side Gun ad-libs. Doop, 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 doop. You know what I mean? There's only like one fucking place that can happen. You know what I mean? Well, two places. You know, you got the original and then you got the corny copycat Canadian League. You know what I mean? That's why I hate fucking Organic and Goalie. I fucking hate them. Tired of seeing them. Glad they haven't really done shit. Nobody cares anyway. We're not trying to see fucking, you know, we're not trying to see your, like, fucking California Democrat battles anyway. You hear me? Your fucking progressive battles and all that weird shit you got going on over there. Ain't nobody trying to fucking see that shit. You hear me? Nobody trying to see that dumb shit. Good. No, we ain't thanking you, motherfucker. Fuck you. Putting out that bullshit. Getting all that bullshit in our algorithm and all that shit. People watching battles and they think that's what battles is. That ain't what it fucking is. Definitely ain't the movie fucking Body. I mean, I guess it is now, though, because it's the weird shit y'all do. I don't understand it. And then you blame us or the culture. You blame the fans. That's the craziest part about this. Like, who are the fans supposed to fucking thank you? They paid their tickets and pay-per-views. They came to the event. They cheered for shit they probably didn't want to cheer for. You want them to do more? I mean, fuck you, Organic. You're welcome. You're welcome that, you know, you're welcome that there's a lane for, you know, the white part of battle rap, basically. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I'm tired of seeing it, to be honest. And I know I'm white shit, but I'm tired of fucking seeing it. I mean, we can have white battle rappers and shit, but can we have like good representation? You know what I mean? That kind of brings me to my next point. Like, at least we got like A-Ward. You know what I mean? I fuck with A-Ward heavy. You know what I mean? And we got Big fucking K, Champion of the Year, Cody. You hear me? The dog strikes again. You hear me? That's what's up. Congratulations, Big K, man. I agree with O. I think it's kind of hard for him to win. Definitely since people are saying, oh, you can't give it to him. He's white. And all this other shit. And before, it wasn't a big problem. Wasn't that big of a problem whenever white people were good rappers. I don't understand. I mean, you know, I Big K is tough, man. Big K got bars. Perfect. One of the most perfect battle styles. You know what I mean? He's a good angler. One of the best anglers. He got the best angle ever. But Benzino come up out of a fucking hot tub one time. Y'all think it's cute. and all of a sudden Eminem trash. Big K is a guest. He can't win an award. Hey man, we accept it. We're guests. We get it. It's only for a year though. Oh fuck, he can't win a 1-year award, dog. Big K. He beat A-Ward. He killed A-Ward. A-Ward was on a run. A-Ward got all kinds of special moves. He killed A-Ward bad. And he killed Murder Mook. A-Ward, Murder Mook. That's two of the top battle rappers right now, if you ask me. And Mook's an all-time legend that y'all call the GOAT, #1. And he beat him, and he can't win Champion of the Year. You ask me, it's years in the making. I think he's been good a long time. He's been doing this shit a long time. The shit he did where he pulled out the statements on old boy. I mean, that shit goes everywhere. I mean, perfect representation of us, the whites. You know what I mean? Thank God. You know what I mean? But that shit where he pulled out he pulled out the statements on old boy, that shit's shown everywhere. People that don't watch battle rap have seen that. They posted it. People sent it to me, tagged me in it, like, who is this? And all kinds of shit like that. Like, or damn, old boy killed this. You know what I mean? It's just, I guess, since he would never, like, fucking write a college essay, you know what I mean? Or battle his fucking girlfriend in the library, he can't win Champion of the Year. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want from him? I don't get it. You know what I mean? But congratulate Big K. You know what I mean? I think it's, like I said, years in the making, well deserved. One of my favorite battle rappers. One of the top battle rappers right now. I think he's been one of the top battle rappers for a couple years. I think he's been dope since his first battle I ever seen. Like, and he's just, you know what I mean? He's got like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna talk about W-Dub later. One of the most perfect battle styles. You hear me? Just people that do like the 4-bar setup punches or like, you know, like 3-bar or something, you know, the crowd loves that shit. They can follow it. They act like they like the schemes and the wordplay and all that shit, but they ain't really catching all that shit for real. I mean, definitely the shit that y'all push the shit to. You know what I mean? Them people ain't looking for that shit. They're looking for like jokes and shit like that. You know what I mean? Good thing that that's a minority. That's a minority part of the battle culture where, you know what I mean, it's the casual fans, the weird fans, the people that are just looking for the bullshit or don't know what's really going on. You know what I mean? But he obviously impresses them too. So I don't see the problem with saying he's Champion of the Year. You know what I mean? Plus, you know what I mean, then he put out a dope-ass freestyle. Then he started calling, I don't know if he's the first one to do it, but Cody's pretty dope, you know what I mean? For the award name. Sounds professional if you ask me. It sounds like an Emmy award or something like the Oscars, you know what I mean? Something like that. It sounds like something like that. I like it. I like Champion. I like the awards. I like how it's set up. I like, you know what I mean? I don't know if Jay Black is renting suits or Smack is buying suits, you know what I mean? He, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's involved with URL no more either. But, you know what I mean? That's a great show. I love Champion, to be honest. I love I may not agree with everything everybody says on it, but at least, you know what I mean? I can still watch it. I can still be entertained by it. You know what I mean? I'm entertained by goofy shit too. Yeah, you know what I mean? I like the laughing goofy motherfucker. You know what I mean? You know, and that just brings me to, you know, St. Louis battle rap. You know what I mean? Like, you know, listen, it's different here. The people are different. It's why when people try to treat us the same as other people, and we don't accept it. They're confused, and we're even more confused by the questioning of, you know, of standing on your integrity, you know what I mean, your integrity, your morals, you know what I mean, like, it's like the whole city is a different type of what would I say, environment, to the point where it's like all kinds of people, all kinds of jobs, all kinds of criminal elements. There's all kinds of different sectors here, and they all have a certain respect for each other, and we kind of look for that outside of here too, and we get confused whenever it's not the same, or y'all accept less, and we're like, we kind of look at that fun. You know what I mean? Sometimes we might be we might go a little too far. Sometimes people like me, and it might hurt our careers and shit like that, but I'm not at all mad at it, to be honest. Not at all mad at anything I ever said, to be honest. Yeah, y'all villainize me to go on Unbiased Island. You hear me? So I don't give a fuck about anything if I ever said offended a fan or offended somebody that really shouldn't have, that I didn't give a fuck what their opinion was anyway. You know what I mean? Because who the fuck are they? If they're weird, I don't want them as a fucking thing. To be honest. I mean, I ain't trying to sell out too much anyway. Obviously, you gotta sell out, you know what I mean, to make it anywhere in battle rap, you gotta accept bullshit to get to the top. Wasn't like that at the beginning, but now it is. It's coming out now. You can't, all, like 3, 4, 5 big battle rappers from here, 6 big battle rappers from here, don't fuck with, they don't even care to fuck with you. I mean, they're well established anyway. But I'm pretty sure if they fucked with you as a person, they'd still battle there. You know what I mean? If the shit wasn't, if you went on some bullshit, they probably still battle there. If you wasn't trying to, you know what I mean, treat us like other people, they'd probably still be there. Like, they told you many times. Like, listen, I don't give a fuck. I say this shit all the time in my real life. I don't care. I don't give a fuck how you treat anybody else. The other 7.9 billion people in the world. But you're gonna treat me with motherfucking respect. And like a man, you're gonna give me the respect I deserve, the respect I command. You know what I mean? We don't like weaklings. You know what I mean? But that shit don't fly here, you know what I mean? We don't like that shit. You can't look at us, move around, talk to, treat us, you know what I mean? We know the secrets, the slime ball shit, we know how to get rid of the bodies, we know all the shit. Can't talk to us like that. And we know what the fuck? Who? Oh, Mr. Shake shit up. If you shake shit up, we'll make another verse. Make another Hitman. Make another House. Make another Remedy. Make another B Magic. T-Double. KD. You know, somebody like that. Obviously, it's the battlers, and it's not just them. It's not just people from St. Louis that are. It's not like a St. Louis thing and get smacked. Smacking them definitely have a thing against St. Louis, but it's like more like everybody. It might be a Midwest thing, because I see Big T saying the other day, you know, kind of making fun of them for crying and shit like that. And I, you know what I mean, of course I laughed at that shit, because I was like, yeah, I feel you. I wouldn't tuck my motherfucking tail neither. I would, you know what I mean, I'm hitting up fucking Showtime or something shit. Showtime battles. I mean, they don't do boxing no more, but I mean, somebody's gonna watch the shit. You know, it's just, you know, your weirdo tactics, the contracts. They say shine 100 times. You know what I mean? First off, like, we ain't gonna read that shit and not laugh, and then we ain't gonna read that shit and not laugh at the corny shit. So, you know what I mean? So it's just not gonna work with us, bro. It's over. It's done. And it's sad. You know what I mean? Because all it really is 20 years later, these New York 2 hoodie old heads are hurt. You know what I mean? They wear their heart on their Averex sleeve. You know what I mean? Gotta cancel that bitch, buy a new one. Bird went up there like, Frank White, dog, a cipher go down at the park, I want in. A battle go on the corner, I want in. You know what I mean? This shit's funny as hell to me. I just think it's hella funny. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like, it's just like, get over it. You know what I mean? Like, battle rap changes, smack changes. You two become strangers. You know what I mean? Get grip, dog. Ain't that bad. Number 2 ain't that bad, y'all. Can't see it coming down my eye. Gotta make the battle cry. You hear me? Oh, I'll be missing you. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man, I make myself laugh too goddamn much, I tell you that. I'll be missing you. Oh, man. It's just like, the whole shit started with Verb vs. SP. That's, if we really go back to it, like, first off, what the fuck happened that night? Wasn't there a venue and like a card, and there was other battlers? Then there was battlers there that were supposed to battle, but they had other plans, and then Verb battled some random guy, I guess. I don't know if he's random, but it seemed random. Mook is behind him. I thought somebody was supposed to battle Mook, maybe Verb. Just saying what the fuck happened, and then Verb battles SP, and everybody's scared. Everybody run. You know what I mean? Everybody Guardian Angel, bro. Oh shit. What we gonna do now? How we gonna eat, man? St. Louis is back around. That's URL. Punk ass crying out loud. You know, it's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck happened? Bird out there kicking that boy ass real bad. Everybody's scared now. Except for Vlad DVD, Bobby Lashley, and the dog for next Friday. They said, we got some. And a star is born. The URL is born. Off that moment, that line, the Guardian Angel duck line. URL became the most respected battle league, or whatever y'all be saying in the intro that I don't know who it is, if it's Smacker, Beasley, or Chico, or somebody y'all hires at fucking get ready to rumble or something. You know? I don't know who the fuck that is in there, but I heard it's Chico, but it sounds a lot like fucking Beasley, if you ask me. They might be the same fucking person. One of them might have hair. I don't know. I'm just saying, dog. Like, it's like this whole shit was carried on the back of Verb's Guardian Angel. You hear me? SB's Guardian Angel, motherfucking. The whole shit was birthed on that. It's crazy, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This shit is crazy. Then the Hitman comes in. He changes the whole game with promo, with Mars. He has the highest views. Then you got them two put together, Verb and Howler. They got the best battle on your whole channel, and that's two guys from the same city. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to see it. I mean, I've been seeing it. I'm just saying, like, as you explain it more and more to yourself, as you look at it more and more to yourself, you see it. The best battle on the whole channel is two guys from St. Louis, Howler and Verb. Not only is the whole thing started from a guy from St. Louis coming out there to New York, having one of the best performances ever, and then these two guys come in, change the game, promo, performance, have the best battle on your channel. I'm pretty sure it might be the highest viewed. It's one of the highest viewed. I'm pretty sure Hitman might have like the 3 highest viewed battles on the whole channel. You know, everybody wanted to rap like Ill when Ill came in. Everybody wanted to rap like Ill. Everybody all of a sudden became witty and wordplay, and you know what I mean, they would mix the wordplay into punches, and then Magic comes in, right? You know, everybody in the fucking game after Magic stole Magic's fucking style. Everybody. The 4-bar setup, name flips, punches, you know, everybody started to rap like him. Not only that, he beat Charlie Clips at a time where Charlie Clips was regarded as the #1 battler in the world, and that battle was basically saying, hey, the #1 battler right now is the winner of this battle, and then B Magic wins. So now again, a guy from St. Louis is the best battler on your channel. Everybody steals his style, wants to rap like him. You know what I mean? Not to mention the other 3 that came before him that everybody wants to rap like. You know what I mean? That everybody wants to be. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't seem like they want to be like Luke or none of that shit. We don't hear none of that shit no more. That's for sure. I hear a lot of motherfucking, I don't know. You know what I mean? Some British rapping shit over there. We don't hear no fucking Murder Mook shit. We ain't hear no Reed Dallas shit. Even though he's from Philly, but you know what I mean? That's early smack. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? Not only that, Magic's in a second run of his career. In a great run. Everybody saying, you know what I mean? Magic's back. He's on a run. You know what I mean? So, you know, that pray for STL, pray for Magic shit. You know what I mean? You tried it. I mean, somebody motherfucking prayed for Norb, so right hand on the Bible. Motherfucking prayed for him, you know what I mean? Lost, you know what I mean? Lost 4-point due to Norbs, had to fall back. Find a league owner, what you call that? You hear me? Nobody said I fucked my money up. Can't keep my league up. No, it's the fans' fault. You hear me? It's the fans' fault. This shit crazy. Super crazy. Crazy as Summer Madness in September. Crazy as fuck. Y'all are wild, man. That's what I don't understand. It's like, I was fucking wild. I was wild. I was extra. I was overdoing it. I was, you know what I mean? Oh, that's just me in regular life. Really, I'm really in the, you know what I mean? I tone it down a little bit, to be honest, and I got to, because, you know what I mean? I'm way too fucking funny to be going back and forth with these battle rappers. They be getting mad and shit. You know what I mean? They're recommended not to get in the back and forth with me, because they know They know they're gonna lose. It's gonna be a bunch of jokes. It's gonna be a bunch of truth. Yeah, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do both. You know what I mean? So it's just I don't. This shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Like I said, crazy is summer madness at September. You know what I mean? You know that brings me to my next topic. You know what I mean? We go. I mean, I want to talk about MVP. I mean, I'm gonna save it to I'm gonna save it to the prediction, and I'll deep dive on MVP and my thoughts on MVP and his career and everything else. You know what I mean? But you know that this is my next point is all you new guys out there, all you battle rappers that aren't, you know what I mean, that are still active, you know what I mean, people that are looking to get back in, you know what I mean, most of us vets already know this, but listen, being from here is a fucking brand. People fucking love us outside of battle rap in the world. You know what I mean? There's nothing but talent that has come from here in all aspects of entertainment or anything, sports or anything. It's a bunch of talent. We have a walk of fame that rivals, you know, Los Angeles, and all those people ain't even from Los Angeles. You know what I mean? But I try to tell these new guys this, but you guys really need to start applying it and believe it and preach it yourself. Go ask the people. Go ask the fucking people what they think about St. Louis, what they think about St. Louis battles, what they think about, you know, the city in general, the crime history, you know, shit like that. You know, people are infatuated with the city. You know what I mean? And then just in battle rap, like I said, like we literally made a movement. Nobody expected people from St. Louis to come out, go up to New York, kill them, keep killing them for 10 years. New talent come in, be number one battlers, all the way up until like last 2 years. They've had talent, you know, come from St. Louis. Not that they pushed it, but that's their personal vendetta and their emotional baggage that they have against us as a city. You know what I mean? Well, I understand it. You know what I mean? I understand it. You know what I mean? Pride sucks. but you know, you guys need to really start pushing. You guys, I ain't pushing no unity shit. Be best friends. You know, all that shit that the fucking weird people from St. Louis fucking push. I ain't pushing none of that fucking bullshit. What I'm saying is push yourself or push St. Louis. You know what I mean? Like, now most of you guys are battling on street status. That's a fucking brand itself. We used to get 5K off rip. You know, just because, you know, Verb, Ill, Remy, you know, Hollow battled on there. You know, you got Rich Dollars. You got, you know, a bunch of people came to St. Louis. You got a bunch of people that, you got a bunch of people that wanted to come here. They came here as fans. You got the leagues want to book us. You know what I mean? The little guys from here get booked. I mean, no disrespect, little guys. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like the guys that we necessarily don't give a fuck about, they get booked. I mean, some of them pay to play. You know what I mean? But that's like, you know, a few. But, you know, if they were smart, they could just get booked. because they're from St. Louis, and no matter what league they battle on, it most of the time. This is no disrespect, because I don't have the best relationship with the leagues in St. Louis, but you know what I mean. I fuck with. You know what I mean, there's a lot of good battles on Street Report. You know what I mean. I'm the street status. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Street status. You feel me? Just street status. Always been street status, but you know what I mean. A lot of the battles here that are big and nationally known, they get branded as street status battles. People call them street status battles. We have to correct them. I mean, sometimes we don't because it's funny. And fuck it, we'll let them get off with it. Fuck it. You know, it's a street status battle. I mean, shit. I mean, you can just go back to any time any battler was gonna get on street status. Look how they talked about it. They know street status is the elite league here. It's the goal here. You know what I mean? It's a goal not only here but nationally, and for your resume and for the look, and everybody fucking knows that here. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is. Don't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but you know what I mean? My dog. Oh boy, street status. Mean Gene Okerlund, the godfather of St. Louis battle rap. You know what I mean? Vito Corleone. You know what I mean? Some of us know him as Mr. You See These Waves, bitch. You had to be around for that one. But you know, you just got to think about it. How much talent, how much, you know, like the vibe of the events, you know, the vibe of the crowd. It's nothing like a street status crowd. You know what I mean? People know it's different. Even at different events, people know it's a different environment. It's different caliber. The fans have different. The ear is different. You know what I mean? It's always been that way. I mean, it's been that way to the point where if you're spitting some bullshit and you're dissing people like me, you get booed off stage. You know what I mean? Shit like that. You know what I mean? This is like we don't play the bullshit here. Not our battlers, not our crowd. You know what I mean? Not you know what I mean? And for 2 decades has done nothing but, you know, give talent exposure to the world. You know, he's done nothing but tell us the truth, molded our careers. You know what I mean? He never held grudges ever. You know what I mean? Get into it with about some bullshit. Usually you're wrong, and he fuck around and apologize or just let it go, or you know what I mean. Next thing you know, y'all back cool. You know what I mean? Because he don't hold grudges. You know what I mean? He knows that he's in a position where he's, you know what I mean, he's gotta not lead with his emotions. He's gotta lead with his business sense, and not only that, just like, you know what I mean, like he preaches it. You know what I mean? SS. You know what I mean? Stay silent. You know what I mean? It's just not, and not only that, it's not even people from street status that he's done this for, where he's managed our careers and molded us and taught us the game and not let other battle rappers or battle rap league owners, you know, tell us something that's untrue or some bullshit, or you know, just let them bully us, or not that we would anyway, but you know what I mean, he'll tell us, hey, you know what I mean, hang up the phone on them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You know, that cornball shit. They gonna be cornballs about shit. They gotta pay. You hear me? Pay the fee. You hear me? Shout out to Macwoods Podcast. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just countless talent. You got the big three. You got Remy. You got Magic. You got Oops, SK, T-Double, Guns, VI, Meta, W-Dub, KD, MVP, B-Mac, Bochu Holly, D-Boy. They're all like major internationally. Like they're known across the states. They're all known as heavy hitters. Like Bo, he may not even have battled outside, as much, or, he's not as active battling, but they still view him as a heavy fucking hitter. You know what I mean? They know he can battle the heavy hitters. You know what I mean? Definitely since this matchup, he's picking his fights. You know what I mean? But we know Mo can battle the heavy hitters. You know what I mean? But just like people like that, you know what I mean? It's like that. There's so much talent. You know what I mean? And it all came from here, and it's all been pretty much pushed by the same person. You know what I mean? And not only that, pushed by a person that has the connections and the love of the city, and the people that don't even know him. The people that don't know him ask about him. People I wouldn't know had any idea who O was. They ask me about O, and they ask me about my battle career. Even if, I don't recognize these people, they recognize me on the street, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, tell us about O. He's just a cool ass dude, man. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You know what I mean? He's a cool ass dude from the west side of St. Louis, you know what I mean? You can tell. You know what I mean? Most of them motherfuckers are cool. You hear me? It's not only that, it's not only that they respect him, they respect the events, they respect what he does, they respect, his 2-decade-long stretch of putting out, classic cards and battles, and just pushing the city himself. Now he's doing a card on 314 Day for these guys. Not only that, like, our fans and everything else, like, you know what I mean? Shout out to Pretty Girls Love Battle Rap, but, like, people like LT, you know what I mean? Them, other fans, Toneel, they set aside, like, pots, like 4 pots. There's like 4 pots for this card. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Battle of the Night and all that other shit. It's crazy. I mean, I ain't never really seen shit like that. I wish they had that in our day. They ain't had that shit. I mean, these guys are getting paid. Every single one of them are, like, getting paid every battle. You know what I mean? If we got paid at a home battle, we were the shit. You know what I mean? I got paid $600 in East St. Louis one time, and I'm telling you, I still ain't stopped talking shit about that. You know what I mean? Like, when I went to California, when I went to California, them people, all they did, they already researched me. They knew about me, Magic, and J Fox's problems and all that shit. So they already had that research. They researched me. They researched the city. Oh, street status. I mean, of course they already knew about street status, but they started seeing new people and all kinds of shit. As soon as I got there, people were asking me about the city and street status and everything else. Like, just people, random people in the mall. The whole fucking city knew about battle rap there in Stockton. That's one cool thing about that place. You know what I mean? That was a huge crowd. You know what I mean? A bunch of like big battle rappers and people there. People from the culture. You know what I mean? It was definitely a good look. But the most thing they were infatuated with was St. Louis and street status. You know what I mean? And just like why the event is like it is. Why the feel is like it is. Why it looks like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's street status, baby. You know what I mean? Street status necessary. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It's just, it's just different here. And it's always going to be different here. And that's what the whole point I say to these guys that are from here. It's just like, get in tune with it. That brings me to, 314 Day, baby. We gonna break down this car. It's a big car for y'all. Y'all should thank O, man. It's a big card for y'all. Y'all are getting paid. There's a bunch of pots, bunch of exposure. And the craziest thing about this shit is this is all homegrown names. It's crazy. You got people from the East. You know what I mean? You got people from the North County. You got people from the city. It's crazy. This is a crazy card. It's gonna be a crazy environment. This is big for y'all, man. Y'all should be, and it seems like y'all are. Most of y'all are. Seems like y'all are taking this pretty fucking serious. You know what I mean? Definitely should. Because it's a big card. You know what I mean? All homegrown names too, and it's gotten hella exposure already and excitement. I see a bunch of people I don't know getting tickets, a bunch of people I don't know talking about it, and everything else like that. You know, so first battle we got is EJ versus Body Bag. Body Bag, he's out from a little stretch. You know what I mean? So he's probably got about, like, I guess what they say, like 2 years of bars just saved up, maybe more. You know what I mean? I watched his battles leading up to this. He's not bad at all. Like, he could definitely win this. He could definitely go crazy. Could. I see the potential. I didn't know if I seen it before, but after watching his battles, definitely his last battle, I see the potential to where if he has a bunch of shit stored and he condenses it, puts it all together, you know what I mean? It's gonna be crazy. Body Bag can rap for real, man. He's like a wordplay guy, you know what I mean? He's like I see the young ill in him for sure. You know what I mean? I see the young ill influence, at least the wordplay influence. You know what I mean? I don't think he sounds like young ill for real. I just see like a, you know what I mean? He's definitely got like a, he's got a St. Louis style, but he don't necessarily sound like he's from here, but he raps like he's from here. You know what I mean? Just the way he says his shit. You know what I mean? The way he says his bars and stuff like that. The way he puts his wordplay together. You know what I mean? You got EJ. You know what I mean? Home of Performance, the show. You know, I watched his battles leading up to this too, and was surprised. I mean, he's a lot better than I thought he was. I was watching this shit. I guess I wasn't really paying attention too much. I guess, or you know what I mean? Maybe I listened to everybody else and they was like, "Oh, he's not like a heavy puncher type guy, or he doesn't. He's got like a couple here and there to where he's gonna like he'll get his reaction. He gets out, but I don't. I mean, he's got like what 2 or 3 battles, so he's still getting better. You know what I mean? His performance is already like levels, like, you know, veteran level. So the only thing he's got to do is get more comfortable with the writing and knowing what to do whenever you write too fast and all that other shit. Get rid of some of that shit. You know what I mean? And another thing he's got to do is if he is gonna like be like a slow puncher, you know what I mean? If he's gonna be a slow puncher, I think he should still go longer. Fuck it. Who cares? Who's stopping him? Who's calling time? If it's not trash, we're not calling time unless it's like fucking 24 minutes. You know what I mean? Your 10-minute round, we don't give a fuck. I mean, nobody's really clocking it too much anyway. You know what I mean? There ain't gonna be no Mike G type shit here, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna be like, Ducky was mad. I ain't never seen Ducky that mad. I've known Ducky. I've been around Ducky for a long time. Been to events with Ducky. Ducky's been hosting for a while. Ducky's been around. Ducky is a staple in the culture, a battle rap historian, one of the coolest motherfuckers in battle rap, St. Louis battle rap. You know what I mean? But I've never seen him that mad. That was hilarious. You know what I mean? It was fucking funny to see him that mad at that. You know what I mean? Somebody being trash. And that's the type of motherfucking energy we need. If this shit is trash, corny, weird, no. Time. Get the fuck out of here. Cut the camera. Fuck out of here. Time. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, EJ, he's like a slow but combo puncher. You know what I mean? It's like a Philly shell fighter. I wouldn't say he's Floyd. You know what I mean? Maybe like Pretty Boy Floyd. You know what I mean? He ain't got the all the moves and the showboating down yet, but you can see it. You know what I mean? He moves slow, but he gets his shit off. He's like a Luka Doncic. You know what I mean? I would compare EJ to. So I'm gonna go EJ 2-1, but I might regret that. And you ask me tomorrow, or you ask me after I post this, I might change it. I'm gonna go EJ 2-1 because they've had a long time to prepare. So, you know what I mean? The 2 years shit really doesn't matter as much to me. It doesn't matter as much because they've had like 3 months to prepare. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Like EJ, I see EJ, you know what I mean? He's definitely the show, you know what I mean? So we're gonna see a show, and then Body Bag's gonna bring the bars, you know what I mean? Just like if EJ shows the writing that I know he's capable of, that I know he's smart enough to do, I think this one could be like a sneaky battle of the night, maybe. Definitely, since it's the first battle, most likely, and it's gonna set the shit off. You know, so I got EJ 2-1. Then we got Craig versus Reefer. You know, I see Craig is like y'all era Chris Starks, but cooler. You know what I mean? Chris Starks was cool at first. He had like a calm under pressure type vibe, maybe like cool type vibe, but he also had like guns and them kind of backing him up at first, you know what I mean? And then he turned out to be like not so cool, but like Craig's kind of like that, but he's cooler than Chris Starks, you know what I mean? And I like his performance and shit like that. You can definitely tell like he's probably a little bit tougher than Chris too. You know what I mean? The way he looked at that camera the one time, that shit was funny as shit. Then you know what I mean? He's like an unorthodox wordplay like kind of guy, like confident, like he's gonna like put emphasis into his punch or however he ends his bar. Because he's not like, I wouldn't say super punch heavy. He's more like a like word play to like, and that's the bar type shit. I guess you could say there's like punches in there kind of, but like he's not focusing on like punching. So he's, you know what I mean? But the way he delivers the end of his bars, I like how he does that shit. I feel like, I mean, he's had a lot of time. He's been sitting for a while. I feel like, you know what I mean? He's, you know what I mean? I don't think he's as bad as I thought he was either, to be honest, after watching. He entertained me, that's for sure. And then Reefer, you know what I mean? One of my favorites, my dog, MPG. You know what I mean? Like the lingo fucking king. You know what I mean? He told the motherfucker he gonna be playing basketball with Kobe. he said you gonna be front row at Dolph. Oh man, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life though. He said he gonna punch a motherfucker so hard their ears gonna clap together. That shit is hella funny, and I believe him too because he's a boxer. You know what I mean? And that's how he got a battle. He's like a dirty boxer. You know what I mean? Like he gets in there, he's high uppercuts on the inside and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They call him Tyson Face. You know what I mean? He kind of fights like Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? He had the COVID mask before COVID. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. You know what I mean? Like Reefer really can rap too. A lot of people are downplaying his skill and his talent as a rapper. Like that's why I don't see a win here for Craig at all. Like I don't see it at all. Reefer seems super motivated. Not only that, he he caters to a street status crowd. Not he caters to it, but the street status crowd is like a crowd that he's fucking welcoming. That's for sure. They will love that shit. They're gonna love that shit. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? That's like Shades of Dubby type shit. Like real street dude from St. Louis type shit. They're gonna feel it. Plus he talks crazy. Lingo crazy. Jokes. Haymakers. Bars. Like everything. Wordplay. He's really good, but I definitely see that he can be better. You know what I mean? He's a busy guy though. I give him that. He's a busy guy. You know what I mean? He's got a lot going on. So, you know what I mean? He lives in Florida too, so he can't be super involved. But he's one of my favorites, man. I don't understand. I don't see the fucking the downplaying of his lyrical ability either. You know what I mean? That motherfucker, he has room shakers. You know what I mean? Like real room shakers, not the shit that y'all be posting like, oh, the crowd go, ah, and y'all call it a room shaker. I'm talking about it shakes. You can see it, you can hear it. You know what I mean? Reefa's got those. He's got a few. He's got something against, like, you know what I mean, my number one battle rapper right now, too. So, you know what I mean? I got Reefa for the 3-0, 2-1, definitely 3-0. We'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? Hopefully Reefa like wrote up type shit like was talking about today. He said he's gonna write up. You know what I mean? Hopefully he didn't keep like his best rounds for his first couple, because the third is really what's gonna hit the hardest. I mean, the first is two for sure, and that's a lot of battle rappers use that format. They kind of take off the second round, or they do some of their own shit, slogans or whatever, you know, the second round or whatever. But I see Reefa for the 3-0, man. Sorry, Craig. You know what I mean? Sorry, Danny. I like Danny, but sorry, Reefa 2-1. Yeah. Then you got, you know what I mean, Op Gunner versus Shoe Holly, you know what I mean? You know, Op's a new class guy. Got the East on his back. Wordplay guy. You know what I mean? Wordplay guy. Got super potential. You know what I mean? Has some good wins on his resume. He has some good battles against some of the new guys. You know what I mean? Like I said, I see the potential. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like people don't like Boat, so they're kind of like, you know, giving him a little gas. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, like, Boat is pressure, dog. Nobody likes Boat too much either. You know what I mean? So, I mean, not even, like, most friends don't really like him, like, in battle rap type shit. Like, he's cool with, like he's kind of, like, marketing this card to where it's kind of like, him and Murdercat, but they're not even, like, the best of friends. They're cool and all, but, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird, but, you know, whatever. Boat is the promo king, you know what I mean? He's the promo king. He's the angle king. He's the personal king. And he's sneaky fucking good too. He can rap. You know what I mean? He don't always show it in his battles. He shows it more in like little freestyles and shit he posts more than he shows it in his battles. But I feel like he's definitely talented. Way more talented than people think he is as a writer too. People are saying like it's like a level above Boat lyrically, but I don't really see that. I see this as it could be a really, really good battle though, because people are definitely going to be looking for Boat to lose. This ain't, I don't know, it seemed like something changed where, I mean, you know what I mean? I guess he's not somebody the St. Louis culture like views as, you know what I mean, sorry Jay Skills, but you know what I mean, like a villain or just somebody that they don't rock with as heavy, or they don't rock with us as heavy, so we don't rock with him as heavy. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fucking real deal is. But, you know, you got Boat, who, you know, like I said, promos, angles, sneaky good writer. It's like the ultimate warrior, dog. He's going to get in there, he's going to get the crowd going, he's going to hit his finisher, you know what I mean? He's going to hit some finishers, do do some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like he's like Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? He's gonna hit you with some no looks and shit like that. You know what I mean? They might not be like super pretty, but for like, you know what I mean? They still look good though. I mean, we appreciate them. You know what I mean? Like he's like a Roy Jones kind of guy. You know what I mean? It's like a defensive fighter, I would say, like a counter puncher. That's why, you know what I mean? That's why I see Bo. And I don't know who to pick for this one, because the way Boat was talking earlier, he's kind of scaring me, man. Op seems cool as a fan, man. He couldn't get the Op earlier. I felt like Op was kind of getting to him. That shit was kind of funny, you know what I mean? Fucking Op 2-1. Then we got Danny Boy versus KD, man. Danny, he's vet, got the East on his back too. Wordplay crazy. You know what I mean? He's got a cool demeanor outside of the battle. You know what I mean? Not so much inside the battle, but I get it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty cool too, but you know what I mean? That shit, I'll be wanting to give my best, and that shit is like it'll fuck with me while I'm doing it. So it's like even kind of like, you know what I mean? Because that shit's hard. Battle rap is hard, man. That's why like people. Danny still, he ain't like he's choked every battle, and then he's had some great battles. He's had some great moments. You know what I mean? He's like he's a new age guy. You know what I mean? He's like a setup guy, like wordplay setup guy to punch. You know what I mean? The little stuff. He mixes in the little stuff to win. You know what I mean? He's like I wouldn't even compare him to a boxer, because he's like a new class guy, and his like mind kind of works like in different angles, and you know, different, I wouldn't say angles, different, his mind works a little different. He's like Israel Adesanya, you know what I mean, type fighter, you know what I mean, kind of like he knows he's good, you know what I mean, he knows he's good, and he's gonna show you some moves, you know what I mean. He kind of reminds me of like a defensive, like a counter puncher too. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You got a problem on your hands. Either he's got 98 battles in a month, or what? You know what I mean? Either he's got 17 battles the day before. You got a fucking problem. Because obviously that shit has not affected him if he's out on the road winning battles. You know what I mean? Winning like 30s, and people are talking about it and all this other shit. People are saying don't fucking worry about his promo and all that other shit. But we've definitely seen KD get ready in a few days. You know what I mean? Plus he's the fucking face. You know what I mean? Who they say the face. He's like one of the most complete battlers. Like he's got all this, he's got everything. He's like like a complete battler. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he has room to grow once he. I don't want to say his confidence, but once he just kind of like, he'll get older, he won't give a fuck as much, and I think that's whenever we'll see his real skill and like the real him. So, you know what I mean, KD's fucking scary good, man. He's going down as a legend one day. Spin master. You know what I mean? Going down as one of the best. Like Floyd. You know what I mean? Spin master. He being all kinds of shit. Conor McGregor being all kinds of shit. Getting all kinds of problems. It doesn't matter. We're on top of the world still. You know what I mean? I got, man, sorry, Danny, dog. I got KD 2-1. Got KD 2-1. But damn it. And then we got D-Boy versus B-Mac. Oh my god. Now whenever I heard this got announced, I heard it a little early. I don't think we were supposed to hear it. I don't know who put that shit out, but I mean shit. As soon as I heard it, I was like, fuck it, I'm not saying anything about it, and that's one of the craziest matchups I've ever heard in St. Louis battle rap. and we'll see maybe in battle rap. Definitely battle of the night, if you ask me. It's going to be battle of the night. If not Dubby and MVP, it's going to be battle of the night. If not D-Boy and B-Mac. But D-Mac and or P-Mac and D-Boy is going to be crazy. You know what I mean? D-Boy is scary. He's the most duck battle rapper in our era for a reason. Scary. Super crazy. Wordplay. Punches, performance. He's mean. Really like that. You know what I mean? He's like a Kobe. You know what I mean? He's like really fucking good, and he's got that. He's got the dog in him. He wants to win. He don't want to lose for sure. He wants to show that he's the fuck. He thinks he's the best, and he wants to show he's the best. You know what I mean? That's what I love about D-Boy. I always loved about D-Boy. Not only that, he's just a real ass dude. You know what I mean? So you gotta love that. You know what I mean? He's like like I said, he's like a Kobe, like a, man. He's like a, it's like a Joe Foreman or something. You know what I mean? Joe Foreman, Joe Frazier or something. Something like that. You know what I mean? Somebody scary good. Somebody duck. And then you got B-Mac, Mr. Top 3, maybe not 2 or 3, you know what I mean? At his best, you know what I mean? He's dangerous. You know what I mean? Old school vibe. You know what I mean? That's why he's one of my favorites. I like him outside of battle rap too. I like him whenever he be doing his Mac Woods podcast. Shout out Mac Woods. He's hilarious. He be trolling these cats. And, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm one of the only ones that gets it whenever he's playing devil's advocate. You know what I mean? But he's like an old school, new school guy. He's like a Tank Davis. You know what I mean? He's dangerous. You know what I mean? He's like maybe a LeBron or something. You know what I mean? Like he's really fucking good. You know what I mean? I don't know who. I really don't know who to pick in this one either. I mean, the last one I'm not picking on. But I don't know who to pick in this one. I'm telling you. Let's go. Man, D-Boy's my guy, man. I'm going to go D-Boy 2-1. You know what I mean? It's going to be super fucking close. I don't know if we're going to be able to tell who's the winner in the building after the footage or any of that shit. You know what I mean? That's going to be a really good battle. Those are two of the fucking best. That's a great fucking matchup, I'm telling you. And then you got the main event. You know what I mean? My guys. You know what I mean? Two of my motherfucking guys. You know what I mean? Like my homeboys. You know what I mean? W-Dub versus MVP. You know what I mean? You got Mr. Perfect Style, Mr. Never Loses. You know what I mean? Rocky Marciano, our Undertaker, Tim Duncan. Not only that, he deserves this. Been putting on for so fucking long. Putting on St. Louis, going out to other cities, battling at home, staying relevant, staying on top of his promo game. He's hilarious. Might be the realest battle rapper I know. Like, it's cut like that. And it's like, you know, integrity, morals. I mean, he's one of my favorites. Like I said, perfect battle rap style. That's why he never loses. But then you got MVP, you know, who is my favorite. You know what I mean? I think he's the best right now. You know what I mean? That's why I say, fuck y'all for downplaying his skill here. You know what I mean? I don't know why the fuck y'all do that. I mean, of course you're going to do that to the number one. I understood whenever they did it to me in my era, too. You know what I mean? Whenever I was the best, people used to say I wasn't the best. You know what I mean? So I understand it a little bit. You know what I mean? Of course, they don't want the best to be the best because they want to be the best. And they got to say, they can't say you're the best. They're still bad. You know what I mean? It's understandable. I get that. You know what I mean? You should say you're the best. But y'all downplay him so much here like he isn't who the fuck he is. Like he ain't one of the best of this generation. Like he ain't the most complete battle rapper out of anybody. You know what I mean? Excluding like promo, but he don't fucking need it. He's so fucking cool, and the people like him so fucking much. And all the comments and everything say when on his battles that people try to hide and all that other shit. So fuck y'all for how y'all did him. That's why I don't fuck with y'all. Why I'll never fuck with y'all. Cause the way y'all did MVP, and now people downplay him here. Like you guys knew you had a star on your hands, and because he was from St. fucking Louis, you guys couldn't just have that anymore. You gotta push these motherfuckers who, where they at now, that lost to my guy. And you gotta push them because he's from St. Louis, so you gotta try to hold his career down. So fuck y'all. He's still gonna be a star. He's gonna be a star here. The whole fucking world knows about him already. You know what I mean? The whole world was already saying he won all those battles. He is the fucking best right now. Most complete battler. So fuck y'all for how y'all did him. And, hey, listen. A couple people got a couple wins over MVP, but we've seen, like, whenever, like, skill versus skill, writing versus writing, we've seen the difference. MVP's, like, the best right now. He's, like, he's one of the most complete ever. One of the best ever. Like, a Pat Mahomes, a John Jones, you know what I mean? Like, he's one of the best in all the tools, you know what I mean? He's like, fucking, you can't beat him nowhere type shit. This is why this is a crazy fucking battle, too. Because both of these guys are like, what's the chink in their armor? You know what I mean? There ain't one. You don't see one. You know what I mean? Some people try to put one in MVPs, but you can't. I don't give a fuck what you think. But you can't. That's Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. You hear me? You can't downplay MVP because his talent took him to the level of Summer Madness, to the heights of battle rap, where the big talented, the most talented guys in St. Louis always take this shit too. So you gotta acknowledge how good he is and his greatness. So you may not be able to do it now, but one day, if y'all don't say he's one of the best ever, if he ain't gonna go down as a legend, if he ain't gonna go down at like at least number 5, you know what I mean? I don't agree with you. He's the best right now, the best pin. You know what I mean? The best. He can perform. He can do the wordplay with the best of them. Like you could. He has some of the craziest verses and runs. Like bar to bar to bar to bar, like, you know, scheme, like shit to shit. Bow, bow, bow. He has. You guys have to admit it that he does that better than you. I'll tell y'all if y'all don't want to admit it, but you know what I mean, that's what I'm saying. We got to start giving MVP his props because he is our number 1 right now. And who better to push than somebody who is our number 1 that the masses were trying, like the people at the top were trying to hold down. Why not get behind that guy that is super fucking talented and that talented enough to push himself to that heights and push us to those heights? And you guys want to kind of downplay. I don't understand that. But like I said, I mean, you know, heavy is the crown. You hear me? You know who run battle rap, right?
And sorry, kind of had a little bit of a technical issue there, but we'll get right back to it. And I was talking about Duke, Wisconsin. And before we get into that, this is going to be put up in 2 segments. So you're not going to hear it. If you don't hear me, if you finish the last one, go right back to this one. And I'll throw it up there for people to know. But we'll go back to the Duke, Wisconsin game. And what I was talking about is how Duke is not favored. And I actually think this is a reasonable non-favoring, as I actually watched the game versus Wisconsin and seen the way that these big men play for Wisconsin. And you know that the bigger guys for Duke, even though they do got a really good point guard, but Okafor and the other, and I should have wrote this other guy's name down, but them are the big guys that are going to go inside. They don't have the big Shaq like this Kaminsky and this Decker does. So again, this could be another game like what I said about Kentucky, to where the athleticism of the 2 big men for Wisconsin kind of plays into giving them an advantage against a team that kind of wants to play the inside game. So I think if the two big men do the same thing that they've been doing all season, Duke doesn't really have a chance to win. They did win by 10, 80-70 back on December 3rd, though. But this is a different Wisconsin team than then. Now, they only lost 3 games all year total anyways, but you could tell that this Sam Decker's is getting more involved, and they're involving him a lot more as it's going down the stretch. And if this is a different kind of beast going against these bigger guys that have the athleticism that they do have. Decker hitting threes. And that in the game against Kentucky, and many people say that there was kind of a little bit of referee miscues in that game, a lot of calls, but I think the calls went back and forth other than that, of course, shot clock violation, which should be able to be reviewed even though it's not. So the referees kind of got to go where they want to there. So we'll take a break. We'll get to the final segment. This is the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. And welcome back to the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. Robert Bowlesby here with you. You can tweet me at rbowlesbyjr. You can tweet the network at Greater STLSN. We'll start off this with a little NBA. As Paul George returned yesterday for the Indiana Pacers against the Miami Heat. Pacers won 111-89, and Paul George scored 13 points in 15 minutes. And what a time for him to come back for the Pacers. As we were talking about last week with basically if a lot of teams being in it for the East with all the losing records, well, Indiana's right there with these teams that are in the 7th and 8th playoff spots. Boston is now in the 8th playoff spot. And Miami is now in the 9th spot, and Indiana's right there. So what a time for a guy like Paul George to come back, to give your team a spark to where you know they're a whole different team with Paul George than they are without him. And they proved that with being the number 2 team in the East with him over the past few years. So for him to come back, and there's not a lot of games left, but if he can come back and just give this team a spark by being out there on the court and being kind of a decoy and maybe not being up to par, this could help this team out a lot going down the stretch and even going into the playoffs and maybe getting that 8th seed, because you're playing Atlanta. You're not playing the 3-headed monster in Cleveland, who's proved that they're probably the better team going down the stretch. And as you've seen in Miami that first year of LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, it takes a while for chemistry to get going. And kind of what happened is LeBron and Kyrie kind of just take over, and Kevin Love's been in the background for basically the whole thing, and not really in the background. He's gotten his in, but you don't want to play that team right now. You don't want to get to that 7th spot. You kind of hope that you get the 8th spot, and maybe you have a chance against maybe an overachieving team in Atlanta. So it's nice to see for him to come back after that devastating injury, playing for the United States back in August. So for him to come back and play, and maybe he plays well, it's something different to see. Now, a guy who can't stay healthy as he's had a lot of injuries and can't stay on the court. Derrick Rose said he'll be back this week for the Bulls. Now, I think this is maybe just a little bit of a decoy to kind of make teams kind of play for him, strategize for him. But I don't think they're going to put him out there for a bunch of minutes if they do. I think that's maybe like a 15-minute a game. Kind of what Paul George got. I think that's what you do with Derrick Rose down the stretch. And I don't think you go much above that in the playoffs. I think maybe the highest you go with him is maybe 24 minutes because you don't want nothing bad to happen to him again. If you're going to get your MVP back, at least put him out there for maybe 24 minutes and get what you can from him and say, hey, you got to sit down now. 12 and 12 minutes in the first half. Make sure he gets enough rest. Make sure that them legs get enough rest to where it's almost impossible for anything bad to happen. So, and they really don't need them because they've been playing pretty well, and they do got guys right now that are playing well chemistry-wise together. So, you don't need him back. So, I don't think they're going to waste him playing him in a lot of minutes because they're pretty much stuck in the third spot in the playoffs anyways. But we're going to tell a little baseball tidbit now as the Upton brothers are reunited in San Diego. That sounded like I was interested in that, but just a little tidbit. The man formerly known as B.J. Upton, now Melvin Upton Jr., and star closer for the Braves, Craig Kimbrell, were traded to the Padres for Kevin Maben, Carlos Quinton, and 2 prospects, and the first-round pick, or the 41st pick of the draft. Now, many people have been saying that San Diego is going to be a real good team this year. They didn't have a center fielder, so maybe they got their center fielder in Upton Jr., but I don't know if I quite agree with that because I think Kevin Maben actually plays better than B.J. Upton, and kind of proven it over the past couple of years. B.J. only batting .203 last year, and Maben also being a younger guy, still, they can still get the job done for the team, but I guess you really wanted to make sure you had a guy that could run out that center field. But this is a big ballpark for these kind of guys that they think is going to have all his power. So, even though you got B.J. Upton, you got Matt Kipton, you got Justin Upton, it doesn't mean that they're going to hit very well in one of the worst hitting ballparks in baseball. And like I mentioned, Matt Kipton, Justin Upton, they also traded for Will Myers, who's a young guy that's been a prospect for Kansas City and then played very well for Tampa Bay. And now if you see as it's gone on, he might not even get any playing time with all the guys that San Diego are not forming in their outfield. But back to the pitching, they also signed James Seals. So now you got your number one starter, even though he was roughed up a lot in the preseason. And you also got, now your closer, now you got 2 things you can build around to maybe go forward next year. I don't think the Padres are going to be as good as everybody thinks this year, even with all the talent they have, because they're in a little bit of a rough division with the Dodgers. Now, there's the other teams, 3 teams in that division are kind of an afterthought after the Dodgers. But you got to, they want to throw San Diego in there, but I don't think with that ballpark that you're going to have to build a team kind of like the old Cardinals, 80s Cardinals. A lot of fast guys that get base hits. Like Matt Carpenters and people like that. People that are going to get on base, not people that have the power and stuff like that, because that ballpark's just too big for them kind of people. Now a little bit of NFL news. Deshaun Golston, formerly of the 49ers, was now with Tampa Bay, was traded to the Redskins. So now Tampa Bay, both their starting safeties last year are gone for Lovie Smith. Mark Barron was traded to the Rams, kind of to be that blitz guy and little kind of dime corner. And now your other safety, Deshaun Golston, is in Washington. Now, he did have a high contract, $8 million per year. Tampa Bay will pay half of that. But still, he's been a top guy in the league for the last few years. And now you got rid of your starting safeties. And Lovey is one of them guys that think, I can get a guy to do whatever I need to in my system. It kind of happened with London Fletcher, and I can't even remember the guy's name. But when we let go of London Fletcher, he said, this guy from Tampa Bay that I coach, he can play in the system. So things like this hasn't always worked out for Lovey, but maybe he's seen something in them two guys that didn't work in his cover 2 system. And Deshaun Golston, we in St. Louis know how good he is he was one of them 2 safeties that we talked about a lot for the 49ers, and him and Dante Whitner. So he is a good player. He is getting a little older, but I don't know what they're trying to do in Tampa Bay. And maybe they're tanking. Maybe they're doing the 76ers game. Maybe we just trade all our good players for now. Keep Vincent Jackson down to your wide receiver. Keep your offense around so we can go out and get Winston. Maybe play McCown, or I think McCown went somewhere else, but play Glennon or somebody like that and send him out for a year. Maybe we get the first round pick next year and we could get another good player to put around him, maybe a left tackle, or maybe we get that real good defensive player. Or maybe they, like I said, Lovey thinks he can do something better with that team. Now, something I wanted to get into, even though maybe it's a little too old for me, was something that was kind of named today, and that was for JoJo White, a St. Louisan who will be named into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Now, he was drafted in 1969, so it's a little bit before I was born. I was born in 1987. But I just kind of want to get it out there when guys like this do it that are from St. Louis do these kind of things, because I think it should be celebrated. Now, these are his accomplishments in the NBA and college. He's a 2-time NBA champion. He's the 1976 Finals MVP, 7-time All-Star, 2-time All-Time NBA second team, All-Rookie first team. He was a 2-time consistent second team All-American. He also won gold medals in 1969, and he won the Pan America gold in 1967. Now, this is how good of an athlete he was. He was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Reds. So that tells you how good of an athlete this guy was. If he could have picked any sport he wanted to play, and he picked basketball, and he was drafted in the first round by the Celtics. Number 9 overall. It was either number 9 or over 6 overall. So that tells you what kind of player that he is. And I got it right here where he was drafted. He was drafted in 1969, and he was the 9th pick overall. He also played for the Warriors, and then also played for the Kansas City Kings. His number 10 is retired by the Celtics. And over his career, now this is a guy that got drafted by an MLB team and an NFL team. His career, he averaged 17.2 points a game, 4.9 assists, 4.2 rebounds. So that kind of shows you, even though I didn't see it, but just looking at it on paper and watching the little bit of videos they got around of him, shows what kind of player he was. And then you could tell he was also kind of great player in Kansas in college, because in 2007 he was inducted into their Sports Hall of Fame, 97. And then his number was retired by Kansas in 2003. Now, in 2009, he was in the Marine Corps Sports Hall of Fame. And then I don't know what took so long, but St. Louis is always late to the game and all kinds of stuff like this. He was entered in the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame in 2013. So it's nice to see a guy like this get recognition. And then also a guy from St. Louis get recognition as a Hall of Famer and one of the best basketball players of his generation. Well, thank you for listening today, and this is going to do it. We'll see you next time. I'm Robert Bowlesby, and this is the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. Hello and welcome to the Sports Blog on the Greater STL Sports Network. Robert Bosley here with you. You can tweet me at rbosleyjr. You can tweet the Greater STL Sports Network at Greater STL SN. You can find us just about anywhere. You can find us on YouTube. We're on iTunes now. We're on Google Play. I've got this thing rolling a little bit, and then I stopped it, and then I started, but then I got it rolling a little more. I stopped it, then I started. But hopefully with this new app I got, it automatically sends it to Google Play and all that for me. So I think there's 2 Greater STLs on Google Play, whatever. We'll get there. And this is one thing I actually do miss, is doing this podcast. And we're going to talk sports, don't worry. We're going to get to the Blues. We're going to do that. We're going to do our thing. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to get the weird news. It could be 15 minutes to talk weird news, all Blues. It could be an hour of each. It could be a half hour. You know, it's just how this is going to go. But I really do miss doing this podcast. It's something, it gives me something. It gives me something to look forward to. I mean, and I quit it because it's a lot of hard work, and that's an excuse. Most of it's because I start doing fucked up shit like drinking. But I just, and my life is so sporadic. Since 2016, my life, mostly 17, my life has been so sporadic. It's kind of like this podcast. This podcast comes up when I get the urge, and I've had the urge for a while, but it was hard to do it. And I could have done it till from October, when the last time I did it, when I did 2 podcasts, to February, and I could have started again in March. I could have done a lot of things to keep this going, and I just didn't. I can't make excuses for that. And I always say something about this. Like, depression is a real thing. And the people make themselves depressed. But it's a real thing. It's still a real thing. And I make myself that way. So, a lot of it has to do with me. A lot of it has to do with the way I think about life, the way I think about things. It's just, I do it to myself. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. And I'm not saying that anybody that doesn't feel that way, you have your own opinion. Be you. Do you. But this is one thing I should be doing to stop that kind of stuff. Because I have more urges to do this podcast than I do a lot of things. But I also have the urges to drink, and I have the urges to do this, and I have the urges to do that. And I should take the urge from this pot and throw it all into this podcast. Because even though it is a lot of work, it's a lot of fun. I always play around and say it's the best podcast nobody listens to. Because I don't just always just talk sports. There's times when I get on here and I want to talk strictly sports. There's also times, there was times when I was doing it 3 days a week, and that wasn't for very long. It was maybe for 2-3 weeks. But I was talking about religion. I was talking about life. I wasn't talking much about, I don't talk politics. That's one thing you'll never hear from this show. If you're into this show for politics, then you're into the wrong show. Because I might be opinionated, but that's just things I don't argue about. Religion I can argue about. I have what I feel are facts about it. I don't have much facts about politics. I don't have facts about anything, to be honest. But if you're going to have a conversation about it, the only way to do that is express your opinion in a meaningful way, which basically means state with your beliefs and facts behind it. I mean, I did a podcast on me saying the word no. Like, I need to say the word no, and I still say that all the time. Like, I have a hard time saying no. I had a podcast on when I took stuff for granted. So, it's something that I can literally, whatever I want to do, I can do it, and that's the fun in it. And it should be given a lot more energy to. because then I put my energy towards Facebook, which I got rid of that. We're gonna find a way to get Greater STL back on Facebook. We'll figure it out. I'm just not gonna be on there because the things that I do on that site, and I don't do it on Twitter, which is the weird thing. I've had Twitter way longer. I might have said some crazy stuff in the beginning of Twitter, but nothing that I say on Facebook. It's apple and oranges. Facebook's way down here, or Twitter's way down here. Facebook's way above my head of stuff I do. So we'll figure it out. But we got this where I can put it just about anywhere with no problem. And there's slight problems. I wanted to do it live on Ustream. I couldn't do it live on Ustream because it wouldn't connect to my phone with the internet I got, blah, 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 blah. But there's multiple ways to do this. And so you just got to keep trying and trying and trying. And I keep trying to fuck up shit instead of keep trying and trying and trying with this podcast. Definitely what's going on with the Cardinals going in out of 500, with the Blues in the Stanley Cup playoffs. MLS coming around. The XFL, I haven't even got, it's been so long since I've done this podcast, I haven't even got to talk about the XFL. Which we might get into, we might not. Yeah. But it's funny how you can talk to people and think that you're getting yourself out there, that people bring that back on you. And I take the things that people bring back on me much harder than I take myself seriously, I would say, I guess. Or take care of myself. I rather take care of other people than take care of myself. It's a more, I guess, happiness thing than anything. I gotta put that into this podcast. And that's not the only excuse. I can't just blame it's what I do. I mean, it's what I do still. I can't just say, oh, it's because of this and that, blah, blah. Like, I simped up twice. I started a podcast, simped up twice. Stopped doing the podcast in general, went to depression, did the podcast a couple times, could have came back and did it. I mean, it's a whole story. We might get into it someday. I might just write the book. I might just write Liquor Hooker and Your Baby Mama. I might actually just write that book. Because seriously, I mean, the stuff that kind of happens, which is a lot of it's my fault. It's just crazy to me. And a lot of the stuff that's happened in the last few years, I'm out of control of a lot of it. And I'm used to being in control of what I do. And then a lot of that's made by my decisions. I do something stupid and it puts some things out of my control. God help me, grant me the serenity for things I cannot change, which obviously is myself. But when you keep trying to fix these things with doing the same things, they call it insanity. And that's what I keep trying to do. If I can't get this, I go and do this. If I can't have a bunch of people rolling in and out of here and just hanging out and just doing about it, I'll just sit here and drink by myself and fuck everything up by myself. Like it's a kind of an insanity thing. Like when you and my brother were joking about it, but we were probably both like semi-serious, is I kind of need a babysitter around. And really, I just need like a person to come up here like once a week. Just come up to the apartment and say, no. Just no. Like, no. Because obviously I can't do it. So I need someone else to do it for me, you know what I'm saying? And like it's hard because when I really think about it, I never lived on my own my whole life. My first apartment was with friends, mom and dad. Got with Amanda and the kids. That's 9 years of that straight. Get out of that situation. I'm living here to there, but I'm living with somebody. Go back, live at Will's, go back to DeSoto, live with Casey, go back to DeSoto, live with Will. And then when I first moved out here, living with my aunt and uncle, which God bless them, they're the greatest people in the world at that time. I mean, and then they're coolest people ever. We just, at that time, I really needed it. They came through, and that's what's up. Love them for that. Always love them for that. But now, I'm on my own. It's funny. It's kind of hard to figure yourself out when you're on your own, and that you kind of start learning that you're not very good at making what I call executive decisions. You're not really good at saying no to yourself. And that can kind of get to you in a way. Because you're going to, every time you see something around that you know you shouldn't be doing, you're going to do it. And sometimes it's good because I have more control over my attitude a little bit. There's not many things, there's not people that can piss me off. Like I go to work happy, I work down there, I'm happy, chill, everybody's chill there. So I guess that's a good thing. Like used to go to work grumpy. I mean, if I go into work and have a bad day, I'm having a bad day the whole night, and it just can't get out of your head sometimes. Like you drop one thing, you're gonna drop 20 things that night, and it's so it's kind of like I can control certain things, but I can't control everything. And I think I said it best when I'm good living by myself, but I'm not sane living by myself. Because now I got a lot of thinking about myself and thinking like, damn, how did I get into this position? And when you only put yourself in bad position, that's when it starts. Like you're like, damn, I did this, damn, I did that, damn, and you had a lot of time to think about it when you're out running around doing whatever the fuck you want. You really don't give a flying fuck about it. When you start acting like a grown-up, you're kind of like, damn. Like, damn, I can't believe that I fucked this all up, you know? And then it gets me into that depression state to where I don't want to do anything. Like, when I was in that state, I got sick. And, like, I'm fucking pussy when I get sick. It's no joke. Like, I'm literally, like, a crybaby. And when I get sick, like, I literally did nothing around here. I mean, the house was like a freaking bum up here, like a homeless person up here. Because I got myself that out of whack, but I was so out of whack that I had to go to work. But I knew I had to make myself get out of my head by doing something. Which probably made my job worse. It made me hate certain aspects of a certain job. Because I did that to myself. Working 2 jobs, doing all that. And now that I'm a little more relaxed and got the 1 job, which I'm going to go back out and get to. You know what I do, Robert? 2 jobs, whatever. Black 2 jobs. But it makes you realize things when you're by yourself that affect you more than they ever did, because you're right, as of right now, I'm only really taking care of myself. So I knew you start learning things that get you in these moods, and that job was one of them. Like when you can't wake up for a job. Like you don't want to wake up, and I didn't have to be there till 11 every day. That's fucked up. And like I'm late. I'm that type of person. If my job's before a certain time, before noon, I guess, I'm late. I remember one time at Mr. Goodson's, I told somebody, "Oh, I'll be there at 5 for you," and I showed up by 7:30. I had to go deliver some sandwiches to these people. Well, I delivered half the sandwiches, came back, made the rest of the sandwiches, and then when they called, I was like, "Oh yeah, I missed the whole bag," and brought them like 3 bags. So I'm just more of a night person than I am a day person.